Welcome in to yet another losing CHGO Bears post-game show. We are loaded up and ready to go. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Braggs Jr., Herb Howard in the house. Had some fun watching this game. It was an entertaining football game.
Yep.
But I guess I could do some research to find out if it's ever happened before, but I don't recall. I do not recall seeing a team that lost a turnover battle 5-0 and the penalty battle 8-1 ever win a football game. I'm sure it's happened. Maybe someone can find that.
I'm not so sure it's happened.
Say that with the Bears.
They lost the turnover battle 5-0.
If anything, it would be the Monday Night Miracle.
No, because we took the ball away twice in the last 3 minutes to win that game.
Yeah. But Rex Grossman did throw,
I
believe,
5 picks.
I think it was 400 interceptions in that game. Wasn't that the game he had a 0.0 passer rating?
If any team has pulled it off, it's the Bears.
Yeah.
That's
it would
fair.
be that team. But
this is the only team that does this.
You know which team would not do that? It would be this team. This is a team that does not know how to win football games, and until further notice, has to be considered a bad football team, a team that finds a way to lose, like turning the ball over constantly, losing penalty battle the way they did. I mean, they moved the ball a lot on a pretty good defense today, but then turnover, but then holding, but then false start, but then turnover. You know, like there was a lot of good plays, a lot of good chunk plays. Offense was moving. Tyson Bagent was doing his job until he turned the ball over.
Right.
Until death.
It was frustrating. But the Bears hung in there.
No, he ruined the FU game. I was really enjoying the FU game from the first
Cole Kmet
half.
scoring touchdowns and yelling FU Braggs. God, I wish that was the case. All right, we'll start with our blame game. Carm, who you blaming? Do it.
Well, look, this was the roller coaster of all roller coasters.
Blame
I
your
could have been
quarterback.
enjoying myself more early in the day. What's funny?
Blame your
He's
quarterback.
your guy.
Oh, that's what you're mumbling. Yeah. Well, no, 17 absolutely deserves some blame. There's no way around it. He had a horrible fourth quarter.
Yep.
2 picks were nauseating. Then he got skittish. He was holding on to it too long. The fumble, I'm not going to put completely on him, but he certainly has a part of it. If moving off of Tyson, to me, DJ Moore just did not have his best day today. Ball in the end zone, not an easy play, but it's in his hands. Lets that go. The bomb that Bagent threw to him.
Secret turnover.
I see it. Jake, USMC. Everyone, hey, bring it on right here.
What did he call him? Secret turnover.
Secret turnover. Man.
I gotta wear it. I gotta wear it.
It's not a secret anymore.
I mean, it's his third start in the NFL. I am gonna say that. And no one, by the way, for the record, I don't know anybody on this show that anointed him. We were tied curious. We wanted to see more. And then everybody pigeonholed him. He's just a backup. And I did push back on that. You don't know what he is. Right now, with the way the fourth quarter went, it'll be interesting to see if the Bears actually think he is a backup going forward, because I would think they still do.
Can I actually jump in here and set some ground rules for this whole show and hopefully this whole week?
Yeah. Sure you can.
Can we just not pigeonhole him as anything?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Like it was ridiculous to say that he was somebody who could replace Justin Fields, and right now it's ridiculous to say that he can't be developed into a starter at some point. Like, this is still pretty good for 3 NFL starts, the good stuff he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, how many
turnovers were bad, and they were behind a couple wide receivers, but like, come on, Chicago. You've seen backup quarterbacks come in here constantly and be incapable of breaking the huddle and snapping the ball.
and moving, getting a first down.
So again, I just want to set those ground rules. Like, No one here is saying he should replace Justin Fields, and nobody in the comments or super chats or anywhere should be saying this guy sucks too. Like, come on.
Yeah, because how many total yards did you say the Bears had on the day as an offense?
364 against a good defense.
Yep.
Right, and that's another thing. The Saints have been a problem for everybody this year. Look, he wasn't great. He was at times. He wasn't horrible. He was at times. He's again third start. So, but he gets part of the blame today. And ultimately, the defense did turn around the second half, but for a while they just couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, I just think what happens with the polarized opinions about Tyson Bagent is where it comes from an energy that Justin Fields catches strays when he's not even playing. And everything like you were upset about last week where it always comes back to the quarterback and it always comes back to Justin Fields. Doesn't matter if Caleb Williams is playing last night. The talk is about Justin Fields. Right. Today with Tyson Bagent, the talk's going to be about Justin Fields. Everything is either an assessment or an indictment on Justin Fields as a quarterback. That's where the energy comes from. So the hope is that Justin Fields can return on Thursday. We've seen what Tyson Bagent can be here these first 3 games. And if you can't just label that as intriguing for a rookie Division II developmental backup quarterback who was an undrafted rookie free agent, hey, tip your cap. He had a good start, but he's limited in what he's able to do at this point in his career.
Right, he wasn't able to win you a game in the fourth quarter on the road in a dome. Let's just remind everybody, backup quarterbacks are expensive. How much? That's a $10 million position in the NFL right now. If you have him on a rookie deal for the next 4 years making less than $1 million, that is an enormous win for Ryan Poles and the Bears. And I would... Despite his fourth quarter today, I will. We're not trying to define anything, but I would say he is at least that. So it's a win for Poles and company and the coaching staff.
I think whoever's your starting quarterback next year, Bagent's your backup.
Right, exactly. And
I feel like if whoever that starter is gets hurt, you still feel like you can win a football game.
Right.
And
you're doing it, and you're getting it for no money,
and
which
Bagent,
helps.
I know arm strength has been a big topic, but he can work a stronger arm into a part of his game going into the offseason as a backup quarterback now and not the third string guy. He'll get more reps, more experience. And so you'd think going into next year he could play a little better if called upon.
All right. Who's your blame, Braggsy?
So are you blaming Tyson?
Or you blaming DJ? I heard you blaming DJ.
I took 2. I took Tyson and DJ. Actually, I took 3. I put the defense in there.
Okay, anyone else? You just want to take all of them?
No, we can't double. Okay, my single biggest blame of the day, since I am the biggest guy in the 17 world, I will own the 17 blame for this game right here. I'm taking Tyson.
Okay, Braggs.
All right, since you took Tyson Bagent, I'm going to take Matt Eberflus because in a game like today, again, I'm going to put this as another winnable game if they make certain coaching adjustments. And the one thing I didn't like in the first half was the times that New Orleans got into the red zone, playing too far off their wide receivers on the goal line. What are we doing? How are you running cover 2 and you're 3 feet from the goal line? And to me, those are the little tidbits of information I'm still getting from Eberflus that he just doesn't get it. You got to dial up the pressure there. You can't just sit back and be 9 yards off your receiver and then backpedal and expect this defense to hold down. They give up touchdowns. Now you're in a shootout. Now you're expecting this rookie quarterback to try to win you a game. It's not going to happen. The defense had to have a better day today, and they did not have that.
You see that a lot on third downs, too. I think
third
back
down,
to an
all
early –
season long.
I want to say it was an early 3rd and 7, and Tyreek just completely backs off and gives Olave the inside lane for an easy first down. And I think they do that far too often, whether it's third down or in the red zone.
Who do you got, Herb? Who are you blaming?
I'll go defense, and I will go to single out a person. I'll go Montez Sweat.
Whoa.
I'll go Montez Sweat.
That's fair.
The hype coming into the game, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And what's the impact that he's going to have? And I didn't see that impact. He had a couple decent rushes. He had the ball where he got in there and caused the incompletion. But he had a lot of one-on-one opportunities and obvious passing situations. And for your new, $98 million man, you would like to see him, win some of those one-on-ones and make a game-altering play. I'm not saying it has to be a strip fumble that he recovers and scoops and scores, but how about just a sack that kills a drive or knocks him out of field goal range? There were ample opportunities that did not happen, and if he is who we all hope he is, including me, and he's signed up to be that for the next, at least 3 years, right? Then he needs to come through and make those types of plays when he is single blocked, and he didn't do it today.
Can I also add with my Eberflus thing that I forgot to mention? You pointed it out during the game, not winning the turnover battle, and then more importantly to me, the penalties. Yeah. These are also an indictment on Matt Eberflus as a coach. These are two bedrock things you cannot lose on the road with a flawed roster and expect to win a game.
Yep. Some of them aren't fair, too. They're really starting to pick on the Bears secondary with these PIs.
Oh, that holding call on Jalen Jones
one that was absolutely terrible.
How about the penalty they called right at the end of the game on Velus?
Also terrible.
He was getting held by two guys for about 10 seconds.
He gets his hand on the face for 1 second.
For half a second, and they call that.
Yeah.
Is there any world where anyone thinks that Velus is getting cut on Monday?
Well, I don't. So that was my
reaction. They keep showing you they're going to throw him out there to drop another pass or put the ball in the ground. They're going to do it again next week.
Right, that was my reactionary tweet was, okay, time to cut Velus on the flag. But you guys are right. He shouldn't have got a flag on that.
I'm not talking about the flag.
Now, he almost had the fumble.
They
ended up calling it incomplete.
First down, 2-yard pass. I mean, this is not a tough one, and he just drops it. And it was lucky that it was a drop because if he
they'll run it back next week for sure.
Oh, sure. I've been one of the last to jump off of the Velus train. I've been more critical of the coaches in terms of how they choose to use Velus. I think he has traits that you can't teach, but when you see he can't catch the 5-yard screen right at him, because that's what I've been advocating for. Don't get mad at him when he doesn't run a crisp route or he doesn't catch the ball deep down the field. He's shown us plenty of times he doesn't have those type of hands. He is not a precise route runner, but he is dangerous with the ball in his hand. So get it to him early. Screens, end arounds, sweeps, tosses, put him in the backfield, whatever. They tried to give you that opportunity, and you didn't do that.
Yeah, but at this point, I think he is a running back that can't even catch the ball.
Yeah.
Like you say, put the ball in his hands, but they're trying, and he keeps dropping it.
That's true.
If he keeps putting the ball on the ground, what are they supposed to do? He can't punt return. He can't catch the ball.
No.
Right? So he's just going to be your kick returner, and he muffed one of those a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah.
So,
it really sucks, too. Velus is a great dude. I hate it, but it's what can you do?
It is what it is. The football, the tape doesn't lie, and
And he likes candy corn.
It's not good, and he likes candy corn, and to me, that was the final straw.
That was the final straw.
Yeah. My blame game is related. It's not why they lost this game, so it's a little misleading. But I agree with you, Herb. I'll save that for the thing I'm disappointed in the most. I'll save that for a second. Blame game. It's got to be the turnovers. It just has to be. DJ Moore gets some of that because you can't drop that
ball.
You can't fumble that ball, and I mentioned this
on
Twitter, and I asked Nick to ask DJ about this in the locker room. Hopefully DJ talks and we get this answer. I'm telling you, man, and I don't know that it would have made a difference because that was a heck of a punch by whichever DB came in there and knocked that out. I'm not sure. I'm not blaming it on this.
Accuracy on that punch.
But if you watch DJ Moore, he's running his route, and he's trying to pull his glove down, and then he catches it. And how I know he never got it in the right spot was when he dives for the loose ball after the fumble. You can still see that.
You can see the
glove
the
is
top
flipped
of his
up.
palm.
So, can we get our gloves on before the play starts? What?
So you're blaming T-Med or what?
Yeah, Tony Medlin. No.
You might have to add a G to the hits principle.
Gloves.
Got to. We're not doing anything else in the hits principle, or certainly not the T part.
But are we ready to play or are we not ready to play?
Right. Exactly.
What's happening here? And it's just there's too much of this stuff going on. It's very, very frustrating.
Weird day for DJ. The deep ball that Bagent threw to him late in the game, he was running 50%.
You talking about in the end zone?
No, I'm talking about straight down the field at the 50.
Deep ball down the field, or the slot corner was out ahead of him, kind of ran the route better than him. He never hit top gear on that. I agree.
Not even close.
He was covered. He actually did a good job. I thought he committed interference to prevent the interception.
Yeah.
They didn't call it. The ball they threw to him in the end zone, I don't think he would have gotten his feet down, but I want to see him catch it.
Yeah.
Catch the ball.
Squeeze the ball at least.
Been down.
It would have been close, but you got to catch it. The thing I'm most disappointed in, to me, it's not why they lost the game because you can't turn the ball over 5 times. But on the flip side, you could say it would have led to more turnovers on their end, more takeaways. It's just a pass rush in general. You've now added DeMarcus Walker, Yannick Ngakoue, and Montez Sweat, and they couldn't sniff the quarterback today. Like, it's embarrassing. What is going on here? Scheme something up. And I know what the problem is. The problem is they don't have a 3 technique. But that's frustrating because you could have drafted one. And instead, the one they tried to draft was a guy who didn't play in a penetrating defense.
No, he was read and react.
It was all traits. You passed on Jalen Carter, and then you drafted Javon Dexter, who you liked his size, you liked his traits, but he wasn't truly a penetrating 3 technique. And there's not enough of it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing his name. I'm not seeing his jersey flash enough. It's very, very frustrating. And at some point, you can't just blame not having a 3 technique. You have guys who have sacks on their resume, and you're still not getting close. I'm not even saying get sacks. I'm saying affect the quarterback. Get some pressure. There was maybe once I thought Sweat caused one bad throw.
Yeah, he did that, and then there was another play where they dialed up some pressure, and TJ Edwards came through, got a pretty nice hit on Derek Carr. Other than that, they weren't really getting close. They certainly weren't getting home, and it's just like, what's it gonna take? I mean, you bring in these guys that are supposed to be able to do that. You hope that DeMarcus Walker would continue his upward trajectory after having his career season last year in Tennessee with 6.5 sacks, right?
7, yeah,
7 sacks, and so then I mean, you bring in Montez Sweat, also never had a double-digit sack season in his career. And he's great against the run. He did some really nice things against the run, but that's not where the Bears need help. They've been good against the run all year long. They need somebody who can win one-on-ones and get to the passer. They have nobody that can do that.
But the Eberflus defense has never featured, high sack totals either. That's also kind of part of the problem, isn't that kind of what this defense is they want to make sure they're going to stop the run. But for whatever reason, this defensive line under Matt Eberflus, whether it's with the Colts or here, their emphasis isn't trying to get sacks.
Yes.
I don't even know how that makes sense.
No. Yes, but this defense is predicated on not giving up the big play, right? They want you to take the long, hard road. And so we'll give you the underneath, and we'll come up and make the tackles. The problem is when you don't get pressure, you don't have to take the underneath. You got all day. I can take the intermediate throw. I can take the 15s and the 13s and the 12s. I don't have to take the 5 yards and you come up and make a tackle and force us to punt. You're not getting any pressure to disrupt the quarterback. So I got time to find the 12 and the 13. I don't have to take the 5.
Well, it's predicated on getting home with 4. And they're
right.
They've been showing you since week 1 they're not able to do that.
They can't affect the passer.
They have the blitz. And
but
it's false hope that they're adding talent up there is actually making it worse because I feel like they're blitzing less. Because they're like, oh, now we got guys. And the problem is you don't.
Right. It's
you don't.
predicated on getting home at 4. But again, not the Eberflus defenses have never had a guy that gets high sack totals. What they want to get is high turnover totals, which is also what they're not getting.
Which you need to create some
pressure.
Affect
the passer
which is why I'm talking
rushes, not even sacks.
Which is why I'm trying to say,
quarterback
sacks
hurries.
It's an embarrassing stat right now. They don't have enough of them. It's a completely embarrassing. But to me, the bigger problem is they're not even affecting the throws.
Not like Tommy Harris and Julius Peppers or any of those guys. Not like those guys were getting 15 sacks a year, but they were constantly disrupting the passer.
Go ahead, Carm.
I would just say, to everything you're talking about here, the Bears, if we go back, they beat the New England Patriots. They were 3-4. All right? They lost 10 in a row.
It's the greatest moment of our lives.
Yeah, greatest moment of the Eberflus era, by far. They lost 10 in a row, and now they've started this year 2-7. So Matt Eberflus is 5-21.
That sounds disgusting.
Including a tank year and a roster that was devoid of talent. We had this week, Montez Sweat comes in. You get another assistant coach fired. You're playing with a backup quarterback, which they underlined. All of that, but you have the GM up there saying that
everything's great.
That outstanding was one of the words said a bunch of times and was very clear. Maybe he's just being nice, but it was pretty damn clear to me, at least reading into it, that he likes his head coach. Mm-hmm. And so now you've added more talent in, and you're sitting here, and I'm wondering, are Bears fans rooting for the Bears to beat Carolina next week? I mean, I guess you are, but like I'm also thinking,
yes, only because we own their pick.
I was going to say that
exactly.
If you're like, I know what you're getting at, Carm. Like, are we starting to go down a road where you're almost rooting against him to get the coach fired because we're afraid he's not going to get fired?
I said it on Twitter.
But regardless of that, you have to beat the Panthers.
Right.
You cannot lose that game to Carolina.
I said it on Twitter earlier today. I go, man, when the Bears play well, I'm happy because I want the Bears to win. But also when they play well, that means more Eberflus and Getsy, which scares me. And at some point, you just kind of have to put your hands up as a fan and just say, screw it, go Bears. But at the same time, with every win they get, that leads closer to this possibility that Poles runs it back with these coaches. And I'm sorry, the writing has been on the wall. The same little coaching mistakes that to me are obvious things, like we talked about with Eberflus playing back, having his receiver or DBs play back on receivers on the goal line. Luke Getsy calling that 3rd and long screen in the 4th quarter. I'm with you, Carm. Like, I'll take the downfield interception. Don't be a coward and throw that screen on 3rd and long when the game is on the line. And Bagent has made a few throws today. Let your quarterback have a chance to either win or lose the game. Again, Getsy shows that he was too scared in that moment. Then, Bagent ends up throwing picks anyway. But to me, they consistently show the same mistakes week after week.
Well, and by the way, I'm throwing everybody in the whole pot here. We want to go with the backup quarterback. Go ahead. You want to wonder about the starting quarterback. That's fine. You want to wonder about the head coach. Great. But I'm coming to you in a second, Hoge. But look, you also have the GM. The GM had a top pick. He traded it for he traded the 1st round pick. He ends up getting Darnell Wright, trading that, not taking Jalen. Okay, fine. Gets another 1st pick next year and is kicking the quarterback can down the road. CJ Stroud today, just for the record, 30 of 42, 470 yards. He's throwing to guys like Noah Brown, who no one's ever heard of, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, fine.
Don't say Tank Dell like that.
Yeah,
Tank Dell's my guy.
Yeah,
okay, fine.
You
can have your Tank Dell. But the fact of the matter is that the Houston Texans are not some incredible team, and he's throwing for 470 and winning the game 39-37.
We're hearing a lot of CJ
We're getting a lot of super chats on that right now. Chris Pagero, $100. We appreciate it, Chris. He says, I don't know how much this would mean, but I think there is no place where the Bears would have picked CJ. The dude said he didn't want to come here. But we need Fields back. Love Bagent. But the team and I hope the fan base understands that we have a better chance with Fields. And then Quinn Anderson jumping in here, $9.99. Should we be worried about Poles' quarterback evaluation skills? Because CJ and Bryce have looked electric so far. Stroud just broke the rookie game passing record, 475 touchdowns versus Tampa. But Poles wasn't, quote, blown away. Brandon Lawson, $10. CJ Stroud wasn't good enough. Shake my damn head.
Look at you, Hoge.
We can't evaluate quarterback, so Justin Fields has to ball out or we ruin another QB. We should have known with our first free agent not passing a physical.
Yeah, good job, Hoge, reading through those. I know you and Carm, it's hard to read that far away from the screen, so I'm proud of you.
I was just impressed by the shaking my damn head. I was impressed that he got that.
Yeah, he does have trouble with the acronyms. No, to me,
it's just bad optics, man. It's bad optics when you see these.
You know what? I will take the compliments, and I appreciate you guys, and I love you.
Love nothing better than a good backhanded compliment. So, I'm not going to play revisionist history when it comes to a CJ Stroud. None of us here, you can make that face all you want because I know you're good at doing that after the fact stuff. But to me, you can't, unless you were pounding the table for CJ Stroud, which I don't know if you were, but none of us here were. And it would have been a hell of a move for Ryan Poles to replace Justin Fields with another Ohio State quarterback. And Justin Fields was still early in his career. Now, coming up this year, it's an easier decision to make. And I get that's why he makes the big bucks. I'll push back on whoever said that Bryce Young has been electric this year.
I know where that's coming from.
I don't think that's been the case. CJ Stroud certainly has been. But at the end of the day, when you come up to this upcoming offseason, there certainly will be a decision made on the quarterback. And you just only can hope at this point that Justin Fields can come back and play a full 8 games so we can get an assessment of what he is to this team, and Ryan Poles can make a decision from there.
Let me say, I have to. look, we have a fundamental just disagreement on what you can and cannot criticize. I am not a believer. It certainly helps when you are not second guessing, when you're first guessing. But at the end of the day, it's Ryan Poles' job to make tough decisions like
Correct.
that. It's his job to, even if everybody in this town was saying it was wrong at the time, if he decided that CJ Stroud was the best option for the Chicago Bears, that's why he gets paid the amount of money he does. That's why he's risen to the ranks that he has in the NFL to make those tough decisions. So I just disagree with the premise that just because none of us said it at the time doesn't mean that it can't be called the wrong move. And I'm not even saying it is, but I do think it's fair for people to bring up, if CJ Stroud goes on to become a Hall of Fame quarterback, it's on the table that the Bears had the #1 pick the year he was coming out, and they didn't draft him.
I get it.
It's still on the table. It can still be a discussion point. And I'm not sitting here saying it was a mistake. I'm not at that point. And I agree with, like, certainly wasn't saying, I was not sitting here banging the table with CJ Stroud, but that doesn't mean that we can't point out that the guy whose job it is to make those decisions may have not made the right one.
I wouldn't have picked Patrick Mahomes, but I wasn't the Bears GM either. And so I can still go back and say, you passed on Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's their job.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
I get that aspect of it. I would also push back on the idea that
Wouldn't have taken
we know for
Trubisky
sure
either, for the
CJ
record.
Stroud would be doing the same things he's doing.
Here comes the Bears
if he
argument.
was on the Bears.
Right. We'd ruin every quarterback that ever came here.
I'm not going to say we ruin every quarterback, but I'm just saying for this year specifically.
To Carm's point, though, it's not like the Texans are some offensive juggernaut.
No, but it's about coaching at this point, right?
Who's their OC down there? Isn't it like Pep Hamilton or something? Or is he not there anymore? I have to look that up.
Look, the bottom line is, if you to play Braggs' game, my comments last year during the draft were, I remember a couple days in here where I was getting
started flirting with Bryce.
I started flirting with Bryce, and then I saw him at the combine, and
Bobby's Slowick.
and he was he was skinnier than me, and I'm like, that's just. I mean, to me, I get it that it's just too risky of a move, but I also said at the time, like, look, if you trade this pick and get whatever you get, and one of these guys turns out to be great, then it ain't gonna
wear that.
Then it ain't gonna look great.
I'm just looking at it through the lens of none of us. We all had a lot of optimism going into this year for Justin Fields taking the next step.
Sure.
And to me, I don't know why Ryan Poles wouldn't have felt the same way. You had to continue to see what you had in Justin Fields. Now, this year, you want to make a hard-line decision on him. He's played in this league, 3 years.
Caleb
you
Williams.
have more of a perspective on who he is. But after 2 years and after the run he had in the back end of last year, how could you not roll over into this year, giving him more weapons, giving him a little more protection on the line with Darnell Wright and Nate Davis, and see what you had in him?
It was it was the safest play.
But that's the thing. I guess that's the thing I'm trying to say is just because it was the safest play doesn't mean it was the right play. And the reality is they did evaluate these quarterbacks coming out. And like the one super chatter quoted correctly, he had to be blown away. He was not blown away by any of these guys. And guess what? Neither was I. But if one of them ends up becoming great, there's something wrong with the quarterback evaluation in there.
Correct.
Like, I think the process is fine, right? Caleb Williams won the Heisman last year, right? In the same class, in the same year with Bryce and with CJ. So if you're thinking like, hey, the guy who won the Heisman is going to be there for me next year. So if I'm wrong about Justin, I'll get another shot at this next year. Unless I'm also, and because the Panthers are still going to be bad, I get their pick and I get ours. So I got 2 chances of still going back and getting the kid who I think may be better than both of them. And I might not need him because JF1 might be the guy.
Right.
So
I hear you, but that's also a risky game. Like, will you be there? Will you not be there? You don't know. You're here now. What's my chances? What's my evaluation? Do I think that if I add in the way he did it, I add in a top wide receiver,
sure,
stay with the same coaching staff, stay with the same OC, try to fill in around here, find myself some late round Tyler Scotts, whatever. Let me go get Robert Tonyan, who had a catch today. Should have bet him. But at any rate, point being, like that you're banking on that versus the other way. Hey, listen. I hope Justin comes back. I hope he plays great. it was a calculated gamble, and who knows how it will work out. But right now, if you had to bet on how it's going to work out, it doesn't look great right now.
It's not exactly fair, though. The revisionist history is my point. I understand it's not. Hey, life's not fair. I said that on the pregame show. But where this team is in their rebuild, you know, and if they wanted to take, you know, CJ Stroud, that means you don't have DJ Moore on this team. You don't have Darnell Wright on this team. You don't have a future first-round pick that could become Marvin Harrison Jr. Or a future left tackle of this team. And those are the elements you need on this team to develop a quarterback in a healthy manner.
And that's a fair point. Poles was given a horrible roster.
Right.
Horrible.
So you can't put the cart before the horse and reset the rookie clock without putting these pieces around in place. You gave Justin Fields a fair shake. If he can't figure it out here in these last 8 games, then you reset the rookie clock, and now you have a healthier environment to develop whoever's next.
It's always going to be a part of it. CJ, Bryce, Jalen Carter, they're always going to be a part of the Bears 2023 draft class. That's just what it is. They're going to be associated with it. Is it fair? Is it not fair?
Right.
Who knows? Who cares? It's not fair to Darnell Wright, but I think it's absolutely fair to Ryan Poles. That's your job. You deal with it. Wear it.
And I guess that's what I'm getting at is, like, regardless of what our opinions were at the time, you're the GM. This was a crucial moment in your franchise's history where you had the #1 pick for the first time since
Right.
What was it again? Like
1967, whatever.
1932, and the guy was selling insurance.
Yeah. So you had an asset that you've basically never had. You had to get it right. And maybe they did.
They did. They did.
Okay.
They got a great
when
right
J.J.
tackle.
McCarthy's in his third year as the Bears starting quarterback,
they got
6 years from now, we'll see if they did it right.
I am not going to question this process. They got a great right tackle you need in this league.
I have no idea if they got it right.
They got a great wide receiver in DJ Moore. They have a future first-round pick that's going to become either Marvin Harrison Jr. or the left tackle Olu from Penn State. I am not going to question that move. They got it right. Okay. Now you have to take the next steps, and the biggest questions going into this offseason are your coach and your quarterback, and they have an out with both of those to change what they're doing right now currently with both those spots.
I won't complain about how they did it. I won't say they got it wrong. But there's no way you can say they got it right either. You have no idea if they got it right.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it all you want. I mean, Darnell Wright was – how many times was he called for holding today? And he's got –
How many times do we got to learn in this city that the quarterback can't do everything himself? We finally get the GM that comes in here and starts putting the pieces in place beyond the quarterback, and now we're going to complain that he's not doing it the right way.
No, I'm just saying you still have to hit. Right, so I get what you're saying on the process. You talked about getting the future first round picks and this, that, and third, but they have to hit. And so until Darnell Wright is a perennial Pro Bowl player, at least a 1 or 2 time
DJ Moore is a star.
Until Darnell Wright
fumble the ball and not catch
a perennial Pro Bowl player, a 1 or 2 time All Pro player, until DJ Moore is a continual Pro Bowl player. Like you
guys laughed at me with the whole DJ Moore thing, saying he was undoubtedly the best player on this team in the preseason.
In camp, he probably
no
look.
I know we're going into hyperbole. Well, you want to make the joke, then
have
stand
you seen
on
the team?
I'm just trying to do an entertaining show.
No entertainment, no laughing. Everyone just look straight, no smiling.
DJ Moore's still the best player.
I mean, look, DJ was incredible today. He caught 3 balls for 44 yards. He only fumbled once, and he didn't. And
he's got your noodle arm quarterback.
And he might have dropped
we
a
all
touchdown.
agree DJ Moore is not the problem here. Okay,
Neither will Marvin Harrison Jr. next
not a
year.
true
He's
one.
not going to be the problem.
All we're
either.
saying is
Back
that
end one.
We do not know how any of this is going to play out. We do not know that he made the right decision.
Apparently, Braggs does.
And we don't know that CJ Stroud would have worked out here without all those players. So
we don't
get out of here.
We know he threw for a mile today.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Goodbye.
All right, I got to tell you about a new sponsor. I'm really excited about this because this is where I learned how to play. What sport?
Golf.
Tennis.
All right.
Oh.
I didn't.
For real. Midtown Athletic Club.
Okay, let's go.
Back when it was
so
Midtown
excited.
Tennis Club.
Yeah.
And it was only tennis courts. When I was a kid growing up in Lincoln Park, that's where I learned how to play tennis. My mom said, you cannot quit until you reach whatever the highest level was of their lessons. And I got there, and the next day I quit because tennis is stupid, and I didn't want to play it.
Wow.
That's the worst thing that a kid has ever done, and I don't like you.
All right, but what's cool
when you saw Carman and I facing off doing routes on the roof,
I can't believe you just said
that was Midtown.
What a terrible human being.
Tennis is fine, but you know what's awesome is now that it's Midtown Athletic Club, they got all kinds of stuff. They got 4 different locations. They got Palatine in the northwest suburbs, Bannockburn in the north shore, Willowbrook in the southwest suburbs, and the place where I learned how to play tennis, Midtown Athletic Club, and hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. You can't miss it when you're driving down the Kennedy. Midtown Palatine has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete in early 2024. Listeners can lock in favorable rates if they join before the end of the year. Keep that in mind. Midtown is an ultra-premium brand, and, I mean, you just can't go wrong. It's just such a nice club. They got awesome features. How about their locker rooms with wet and dry saunas, premium amenities?
I'm here to tell you, if you join Midtown, I will buy the court time myself. I will give you a lesson, and I will hang with you in the steam room, and we could talk Tyson Bagent all night long. I'm here for you.
That sounds like a waste of money.
Don't be the person talking in the steam room. It's supposed to be a relaxing,
Carm's talking in the steam room.
It's just this is too big of a show for me to go into my latest experience in there, but later in the week we will have one. Keep going. Midtown's awesome.
I'll take the Midtown membership, and you can hold the Bagent conversation and the Carm lesson. Thanks.
Keep your mouth shut in the steam room. All right. They
about
got high-intensity interval training, yoga. Carm likes his yoga.
Such a good yoga.
Boxing, spin classes, cross-training, tons of group exercise, all types of stuff. And just for Mark Carman, the best tennis courts and programming in the sport. Midtown has indoor and outdoor tennis, pickleball. Carm doesn't like pickleball, though. And paddle tennis.
Place the country club. I love it.
The USTA, which I assume stands for the United States Tennis Association.
That's correct.
There you go,
Adam.
Carm. Professional quality all the way, just like you would expect with Carm and his tennis game. Head over to midtown.com/CHGO. Again, that's midtown.com/CHGO to tour the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you.
And when you're hanging out at Midtown, you can get on your phone and you can make some bets with Circa Sportsbook. That's right, the tight money line splits, the low hold model. Games are always, they're striving to make it a -110 to put as much money in your pocket as possible. Circa is just flat out awesome. We're having an event with them coming up on Thursday, so you can hang out with some of the Circa people. We can make some bets on hopefully Justin Fields playing an incredible game against the Carolina Panthers, or, maybe we'll be rocking the Bagent man again. Rocking the Bagent. Rocking the Bagent. There's this tune. Circa Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players, and they also encourage you bettors to download and explore all the other betting apps because, hey, you're going to see that Circa gives you the best value. Download the Circa Sports Illinois at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for the Circa events like the one coming up on Thursday, watch parties, tailgates, the whole thing. And a reminder, if you or someone you know does have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB or 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
We did Blame Game earlier. Tyson Bagent played his own version of Blame Game. He told ESPN 1000's post-game show, this according to Peggy Kaczynski, quote, "It was embarrassing turning the ball over 4 times, and, quote, all my fault."
There you go.
There you go. I love the way he's owned everything, even when you can tell he really wants to go a little bit further into this was the bad route or this was that. He always catches himself and takes the blame. Quarterbacks have to understand that you're going to get a disproportionate amount of the praise when things go right, and the same is true when things go wrong. You will get the blame. If you're going to accept the praise, accept the blame, good on the kid.
I want to go through some scores here, especially ones that affect the Bears in the NFC North. I guess they don't really affect them much anymore, but they're still relevant. How about the Minnesota Vikings going into Atlanta today?
Yeah.
With Jaron Hall as their starting quarterback. He didn't even get through the first quarter without suffering a concussion. And Josh Dobbs, who they just traded for,
Tennessee,
comes in 20 for 30, 158, 2 touchdowns, wins the game 31-28.
Last second drive, too.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's
insane.
I thought,
good, by the way.
I thought the Falcons were a lock at 4.5.
Well,
honestly, though, if Jaron Hall doesn't get hurt, I think they
probably do get it.
The Falcons probably win. Good for Josh Dobbs, man. Okay, they don't want me here. I'll go here and win.
They traded, what, a 7th-round pick for him? A 6th-round pick, whatever it was? I get it. He's been journeyman and whatnot. But that's a good job by the Vikings.
No running game, basically.
Yep.
And they still get the win down there in Atlanta. That's
Yeah.
Vikings are 5-4.
Packers
Win 20-3.
Yep, Packers win 23 without Stafford on the Rams. Depending on how you're looking at things, I mean, you never want to root for the Packers, but at the same time, keeping them as far away from being in the top 5 as you possibly can
for sure.
certainly helps.
We want Green Bay winning games.
At least a few more, right?
Yeah.
So they win one today and move to 3-5 on the year, which is going to push them further up the draft board.
Good job by Carm picking up Cooper Kupp and playing him in that game with a backup quarterback. That was good. 2 catches for 48 yards, no touchdown. All right. 7 targets.
It's all right. I did the same thing with Arizona's tight end, whatever his name is.
McBride.
Oh, gosh.
What did they end up losing? They lost 27-0. So I'm going to assume he didn't get any fantasy points.
That's bad.
I feel like they
3 catches, 22 yards. Okay.
they sort of Clayton Tune. They sort of gave him the Justin Fields treatment, starting him this first
And
game.
currently the
Cleveland.
Colts are up 3-0 on the Carolina Panthers, but still early in the second quarter.
Yeah, and
And Arizona got absolutely demolished. Like, I think the Cardinals are probably just not showing up for the rest of the year.
I know. Can we get them in trouble for purposely tanking? Can they put Kyler Murray in? I mean, God, they're killing me.
Yeah, how they handle that will be interesting because it's like they traded Josh Dobbs and they're like, okay, Clayton Tune.
We're gonna play Clayton Tune over.
What's my guy Big Crams saying?
Go ahead
here?
and read it.
Yeah, Big Cram 999. Good to see you, Big Cram. I love you, Big Cram. Braggs, the process was right, but the decisions are still on hold, and only time will tell. Also, what can Justin do to prove he's the guy? Because in my opinion, under Getsy, it's going to be a hard thing to do. I think we all agree with you on that, Big Cram.
I've said for a while now. We talked about it with Baldy a few times, but I really this might be unfair to Fields, but I don't think there is a threshold in which he can surpass if the Bears have one of those top 2 picks to reset the clock that Justin Fields can hit where they're not going to draft a quarterback. Now, if the pick isn't in the top 2, that changes the discussion.
Right before he got hurt, he had 2 weeks, 600-some-odd yards, 8 passing touchdowns.
Right.
He goes on a run like that for 8 weeks.
Right.
He's still gone.
If they have the number 1 or number 2 pick, yes, because Brian Poles can look at it and go, okay, you do have, this ability, but you also get hurt every year.
If that's
and I don't know if I can trust that when I have this option to move on.
If that's the case, then Kevin Warren should fire Ryan Poles too. Whenever they fire Flus. If you knew that 4 days ago, then you should have traded Justin Fields. Like somebody was on your phone, somebody would have picked up, somebody would have given you something for that kid. If you knew already, right? I don't think he made that decision. But if we're going to go with that he's already decided that Justin Fields isn't the guy, not moving him for some future assets is malpractice.
But you have to wait because you have to know where your picks are.
Well, and I would also say that if that plays out where Fields does play well the rest of the year, I think his trade value would be higher than it would have been last week. Is that fair?
That's true, too.
Yeah, because he was hurt once the trade deadline hit.
And, I mean, we could also say that if he plays that way, they probably don't have a top 2 pick, right?
The Panthers pick still can be one of them.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
So, I mean, again, if you're saying there's nothing he can do to say he's the guy going forward, then you should have traded him.
Unless they don't have a top 2 pick, which is still on the table. Carms pointed this out a million times, and it's just something we're going to continue to wring our hands about here as the season progresses. What?
Wring our hands?
Is that in that? That's a phrase, right?
It's a phrase if you make it one.
I just made it one.
Like wring out a towel.
Beat our heads against the wall, whatever you want to say.
Twiddle our thumbs.
Twitter our thumbs away.
Dance with Ubrunga. Keep going.
Yeah, to me, if they're not in the top 2 of, in this Drake May or Caleb Williams derby, then that also changes the circumstances of their. What's that?
Not another North Carolina quarterback.
Look,
that will literally set Bears fans' heads aflame.
I'm all over the map on what you just said. Some agreeing, some not agreeing. But go ahead, Hoge, I'm the Kentucky Bears fan.
$9.99. If Bagent were a first-round pick instead of an undrafted free agent, we'd be seeing some of the positives today. Remember how lost Justin looked versus Tampa as a rookie? I still think the kid has starting potential.
I mean, I had him in the Hall of Fame in the first half, Kentucky. So I agree with
you.
You
Did.
I
You had him in the first. You had him in the Hall of Fame second half of Minnesota game.
I mean, I agree with you. Look, I mean, if we're being balanced about it at the start of the show, it's his third start on the road against a team that's been killing quarterbacks all season long. He looked pretty damn good early. Did throw a bad interception early. He was looking solid through the midway through the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, it was horrible.
I say right here in this same seat at the end of training camp when they decided to go with him and get rid of PJ, that he's a guy who could be a backup for you. And if, God forbid, I said at the time, Justin Fields misses 4 games, I think he'd go 2-2 for you. Now, I don't think he's going to get the opportunity to start next week, but if he could, I believe he could beat the Panthers, and he'd be at 2-2 for 4 games.
Well, and
That's what you want your backup to be.
And by the way, let me just say this. I get it. The more you see Justin, the larger the evaluation process is. But the game on Thursday is going to come real quick.
Yep.
He's standing on the sidelines. He's still got his thumb in that brace. He didn't have full grip strength. If this is somebody that you are evaluating because you want to make him your guy, in my mind, you give him the best opportunity to be successful, and you let him get
Another
his help.
10 days?
Yes, you let Bagent play out the Carolina game, and then from there he will be that much healthier, and then you put him back on the field. You put him back out there, and he's at 83%
Right.
or whatever it is, and then he gets hit on it, then he's back into it. Like I would not rush him back out until you still have enough time. You don't have to play him this week. So I wouldn't personally rush him out there on Thursday, even if he really wants to go, unless I see him ripping the ball all over the place whenever they're doing the work that they do this week.
If I'm Justin, I want to go because
Every
I know
game
that
is precious.
that next game is the Lions game. This game is
He
where
needs
you
a
can
tune-up.
this is where you can get a
Yeah,
victory.
warm-up
What's his
game.
record? Not good.
Yeah.
These are
Right,
wins.
because that's where it is when you talk
Not
about,
good.
we still have an evaluation process here the last half of the season with Fields. It's going to be a tall order for him, ladies and gentlemen, because he hasn't played in, 3 weeks, almost a month?
Yeah.
He's going to be playing with a hurt thumb the rest of the year. You know, what degree it is bothering him is going to play into that. Oh, and by the way, your defense consistently gives up 25 points or more, so you're constantly expected to win shootouts, and then you're put in positions where you're having to force the ball to try to keep your team in games, which is going to cause turnovers and mistakes, and then you're going to be the one blamed for those mistakes. So it's to me,
The irony of having to
use
use the guy to beat the Panthers so that you get their pick, being the same guy that you want to use that pick to replace. It's like,
right, like
It's
it's
kinda funny.
Fields is tanking it.
we gotta use Justin Fields to beat them so that we can get their pick so we can replace him.
Right. Fields is going to throw the game.
All right. I believe we have the press conference from Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. We're going to listen to some of this, see how far we go with it. Matt Eberflus talking to reporters in New Orleans after the game.
Just an update on Kari Blasting game. He's in concussion protocol, so we'll see where that goes for this week. But obviously, it's going to be tough to get back there for him. We just hope he's okay and hope he's doing fine with that. Overall, for the game, I thought we took the ball. Decided to take the ball with the coin toss there, and guys did a really good job of taking the ball on the field. I thought that was the first 15 was really good, and obviously we scored a touchdown there. That was excellent. Got a 4-and-out on defense, and then we had that one interception from there. And really in the first half, I thought our offense did a good job operating. We got some good yards in there from a bunch of different ways. Running the football was a big goal for us today, and I thought we accomplished that goal. Stopping the run was also a big goal for us, and I thought we did that as well. When you look at the third downs in the first half for the defense, it wasn't good, right? We were 5 of 6. Didn't do a good enough job on that, but we came back in the second half and they ended up, 7 of 14, but we did a good job with that, adjusting, and the players did a good job of executing to give ourselves a chance to win in that situation there. Really the story of the day, right, is just takeaways. You can't. It's hard to win. The league's pretty even. In most spots, and it's hard to win when you have -5. And again, that's a whole team thing, right? It's us protecting it, us protecting the quarterback, us getting on defense, and us doing a better job there, taking the ball away on D. So again, that's really where the story was. Again, I love the fight of the guys at the end there. Defense gave us a chance at the very end with those stops that we had and with the missed field goal that they had. But with that, open to questions.
Tyson Bagent's day, it looked like things were going very well for him through 3 quarters, and then a lot of problems at the end, turnovers, not a lot of completions. What happened to him in the 4th quarter?
Yeah, just, I'm going to have to look at it. And what I saw out there was, they play man coverage, right? That's what they do. They're tight coverage there. And we were throwing it in the tight windows. And we got to do a good job with our decision-making and accuracy. And that's where it is. And, again, I'll look at the tape to see exactly what they were doing. But, again, that's the first number one job of a quarterback is to protect the ball.
Do you feel like you guys were getting a lot of opportunities at the end to win? Like it was there to take?
Oh, yeah. We made stops on downs on defense. We had time. We still had time. We still had time, and the guys were fighting and battling. And, because of that, we made it a game at the end. And so I really believe that we had a chance at the end there.
What was the biggest difference with the defense in the second half? They gave a couple touchdowns in the first half, no touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, it's just the third downs. Yeah. The reason they kept those drives, we were playing the run great. We were tackling good. We were doing all those things well. And, during that first half, the only thing that they had on the plus side was the third downs. Like I said, 5 of 6, and I believe 2 of them were in the red zone. So that's where we needed to get corrected, and we made the adjustment, and they did a nice job.
Are you guys optimistic about Justin after seeing him throw Friday?
Yeah, he's day-to-day. We'll find out more tomorrow, and we'll see where it is because, he started throwing, which is a positive, and we'll see where it is in terms of his functionality.
Are you hoping that he could be back Thursday?
We'll see where it is. We'll see.
How was the week at large? How do you think you and the team handled that? There was a lot going on. You had trades. You had trade demand that didn't happen with Jalen. You had David Walker, and then you go on the road Saturday.
Yeah, I would say really good. Obviously, if we would have won the game, it would have been great. It's not great because we lost. But our guys hung together. They always do. They practice well. They came out ready to play today. And again, if we get the ball right, we would be right today. So that's where it is. But guys were physical. They finished every play, and they played our style, which is the style we want to play.
Tyreek Stevenson left with an injury. What's the latest on him?
Yeah, we'll see where he is. I know it was a lower leg injury. We'll see where he is tomorrow.
What's the key to the running game? Doing well early in the game, especially the first half, and then there were any adjustments that they made because it didn't seem like there was many big holes as there were earlier.
Again, they shift their front a little bit here and there, to overload that one side that we were running to the whole time. And that's, again, my hat's off to them. They made the adjustment, and it wasn't as effective as it was. But again, I thought we did a really good job overall during the course of the day of running the football.
They don't talk much about Bagent's ability to run with the ball, but it seemed like he really took advantage of things out there. I could get 70-yard rushers.
Yeah, he had some really nice plays. It wasn't just the QB scrambles. There was a disconnect from the runner a couple of times. Where he kept the ball on those, and that was cool to see him on the edge there. And also the keepers. He had some waggles and boots where he got on the edge and had a chance to either run pass option, and he did a good job with that.
What was the plan for Sweat today going in?
All right, there's the head coach, Matt Eberflus.
Heard that before? No, Hoge.
Yeah. Wait, what did he say? If we get the ball right?
If we get the ball right, we'll be right.
He said they hung together like they always do and that they played their style.
Well, I agree. Their style is to lose the turnover battle and have a lot of dumb penalties.
That's a grown man right there.
It's a grown man who comes in here and attacks it every day, and I love the way he leads the guys and talks.
It's a grown man.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Some of their, the defense did give him a chance. I couldn't believe they were still – that was a one-score game for as long as it was. I mean,
they only give up 24.
Yeah, but
by the way, thoughts and prayers to anybody who was on the Saints today because they should have covered that 6 different times in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's like you say credit the Bears defense for keeping them in it, but wasn't it the Saints helping keeping the Bears
they
in it?
missed a field goal. They couldn't move the ball. He's
tush,
trying to give
the
us
failed
defense
tush
credit.
push.
Oh, yeah, the failed tush push.
I mean, listen, you got to give the Bears some credit. You turn the ball over, you lose a turnover battle by 5, right? You should get blown out of the stadium. That didn't happen. So maybe if they had 3 turnovers, the Bears might win this game by 10 points.
All right, maybe I'm just being cynical, but to me, that's thank God you were playing the Saints.
Agreed.
Because if you were playing...
But there are no great teams in the league, though. That's what I'm
but
saying. You can win every week. If you don't
I guess
shoot yourself in the foot.
I guess what I'm getting at was, like, if they're playing the Chargers again today, would that score look more like the Chargers score did last week?
Yeah,
with 5 turnovers. You know what I mean? Like, the Saints aren't good. The Saints aren't good.
I don't know. Pre-game, I was told that they were going to cover and that Kamara's going to get 9 receptions. I lost a parlay thanks to you guys.
I had the Saints winning by 8. They won by 7.
How many catches did he get?
4.
That's not 9.
It's not 9. Might have had more. I don't know.
I saw the line move from 9.5 to 9, and I won my first bet of the year.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the cover, Bears. Way to go.
Sanborn, easiest money of the world.
Jockey boy.
4.5 on the solo tackles?
Did they know?
Who set that line? I don't think they knew he was playing Mike.
Did they know Tremaine wasn't playing?
Maybe they did, but they didn't know he was going to be the Mike. That was stealing. All right, Rye Shy 7, $5 super chat. Thank you to everyone in the front and behind the camera at CHGO. You help make these awful seasons more bearable.
Thanks, Rye Shy.
We appreciate you. You make it bearable for us, too. Without you guys, I guarantee you we would not be sitting here talking about this game.
Rye Shy, my man.
I think we should do. Oh, do we have Bagent ready?
We do, but can we get some more likes, please, before we play Bagent? I mean, come on. It's 2,000 people watching, less than 300 likes.
Please.
I would like to see that number a little higher, please.
Hit subscribe to.
Thank you.
Send the link off to a friend. Say something nice about us.
We're normally in a better, more effervescent mood.
Are we?
We are?
Well,
yes.
If I may.
I'm talking about during the week.
Oh.
First of all, I thought our vibes today during the game were great.
Vibes are great.
Vibes are great. Vibes are about to get even greater here. Can I have some breaking news? I know I'm great with the breaking news on CHGO Bears.
What's he about to get wrong?
Actually, yeah.
Everybody's terrified here. So breaking news, Bears fans. This Thursday night, we will be at Joe's on Weed Street, and Brian Urlacher will be in attendance for a Circa event. We are going to be live for a pregame, halftime, and postgame show where Hall of Fame linebacker Brian Urlacher will be there at Joe's on Weed Street. And if you've already gotten your tailgate tickets, you have the option to roll over there with us and go hang out with a Hall of Fame linebacker and have some great vibes while we try to take down the Carolina Panthers.
So obviously it's a home game.
And
we have a tailgate before the game, and obviously we know that a lot of people going to the tailgate are also going to the football game. But
Correct.
What we've learned is a lot of the people who come to our tailgate actually are not going to the football game. They might just be hanging out. So then you
shout out to Crystal. Sometimes
yes.
More details to come on this.
But I just want to emphasize that if you come to the tailgate, you're not going to the football game. You have a reserved spot to come to the Circa event at Joe's.
Right. We've already sold a good portion of tickets to the tailgate. Those people are going to get a notice out that you can come to this live watch along with us at Joe's on Weed Street. But this is a Circa event, so stay tuned for more details about how, if you're not coming to the tailgate, how you can attend this and hang out with the CHGO crew and Brian frickin' Urlacher.
And Greg, if you can clarify, if you still want to go to the tailgate, will there be a tailgate?
Yes, there's a tailgate.
That's
you come to the tailgate, the corner of Wabash and Cermak. Go to allchgo.com, hit the events tab, and you can get your tickets to the last tailgate we're having this season, and it's going to be a great one. It's a Thursday afternoon, so you're going to have to get off work a little early. Call off work. Who needs to work when you can have fun with us? And then you can head over to the watch party with us at Joe's on Weed Street. That's where we did the draft party this year, and it was a lot of fun. So excited to get back over there.
I'd like to shout out upper management for realizing that we needed to stop doing tailgates after November 9th. Good job, Kevin Cada. Good job, Jake Flanagan. Anybody else who was involved in that decision, well done.
That is the least Chicago thing you've ever said.
That's fine.
You are the softest human being on the planet.
That's right.
That's
right
fine.
here. Right here. And Kevin is saying from a distance, the Bears had a lot to say in that too. So
yeah,
apparently upper management did not believe
if they were 7-2, we might keep these things rolling a little bit.
So,
put on a coat and hang out.
So again, the corner of Wabash and Cermak, the official CHGO tailgate. Go to allchgo.com, hit the events tab, and if you become a diehard, you can get a discount on that event and any of our future events. You get a free shirt right out the gate. You get exclusive access to content on our website that's exclusive to diehards only, like Adam Hoge's newsletter, Mark Carman's grades that he puts out after every game, and all the different teams' content, not just Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, Red Stars, Sky. We do it all here in Chicago, and that's what we do for our fans here at CHGO Sports.
All right. Want to hear from the quarterback, Tyson Bagent. We got Nicholas Moreano coming up from the Superdome here in a little bit too. But the quarterback did speak to the media and took some of the blame, it sounds like. Here he is, Tyson Bagent.
Tyson, can you take us through your day as far as what was going so well for you through 3 quarters and then what went wrong for you at the end?
Yeah, I think I did a good job of, controlling the game. I thought we did a good job of controlling the game, managing the play clock, especially with all, the atmosphere that they always tell you about, when you come here to play the Saints. Thought we managed that well, thought we were taking advantage of a lot of things, and then really it just all comes down to myself in that last quarter, being able to do a better job taking care of the ball. Coach talks about it every single day, how important it is to take care of the ball, and I didn't do a good job of that. So that's basically just me there in that last quarter.
What's the diagnosis on the interceptions in the fourth quarter? Both of them in tight coverage. Was there something that you misread or just tried to make a throw that ultimately they jumped?
Yeah, I think it was good on their part, bad on my part. Tight coverage. They made a couple of really good plays. So hats off to them. But once again, I got to probably just go somewhere else with the ball. So that's on me.
Was it at all a product of just the offense stalling and you just trying to force something, trying to make something happen?
Yeah, I think it was all on me. Just forcing a couple plays there, and then you can't afford to take plays off in NFL because they come back to bite you. So got to be sharp on every play.
Tyson, despite the 5 turnovers, it was just a one-score game. How do you kind of just describe, what this game was like, even though you guys didn't win the turnover battle, but it was so close?
Yeah, I thought our team played extremely well, which is why it's so embarrassing. Just because one-score game, lose a turnover battle by that amount, it's embarrassing. But it's part of the game, and I'm just looking forward to building and learning from this experience.
Tyson, if Justin is back next week and this is kind of the end of this run for you, how do you think it went in total?
I thought I took advantage. I thought I did a lot of good things. I think there's a lot of things that I can also learn from. But at the end of the day, I'm blessed beyond measure. I can't believe the position I'm in. I had an extreme amount of fun with all the guys having my back the way they did. But for me going forward, nothing changes. I'll continue to prepare as if I'm starting every game. So looking forward to it.
A clearer checklist of what you need to work on now that you actually play?
Yeah, of course. Repetition, mother of all learners. The best way to learn is to be thrown into the fire, so to speak. So I take a lot, a lot out of this experience.
You need to go, because you need to play on Thursday. What do you need to do to just bounce back and such a quick turnaround?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's pretty much, I think there's only one way to, and that's just continue to do exactly what I've been doing preparation-wise. I think that's the only thing that there is to do. I don't really know what else I would do. So just continue to do exactly what I've been doing preparation-wise, do a better job taking care of the football.
Did you feel like you were just a little bit late on at least 2 of the picks? Do you think that was the contributor? The one to Tyler, and then the second one, I think, also.
Yeah, I think I was late to the one to Mooney, and I think that I was on time to the one to Tyler. Just good coverage, a little bit behind him, which is all me.
All right, so there you have it. Tyson Bagent after the game.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I love how Brad Biggs just gets tired of the stuff. He's like, do you think you were late on those throws or not? Like,
Look, I think if we put stuff in proper context, and yeah, we could put his numbers up for today. Here's your Bagent guide for week 9, 18 of 30. A lot of pat. They haven't been afraid to throw the ball with him. 220. I think they've been mostly running a lot of the same stuff. I think they've shown some trust in Bagent overall. Man, for a D2 undrafted rookie to again, I keep going back to how many bad, and it's a low bar, I get it, but how many bad backup quarterbacks you see, not just here, but really across the league. You got a lot of bad quarterbacks out there. This kid showing you that he's got something, right? Like he is somebody you want to keep around, and that is something, because it's very easy for an undrafted, sometimes even some of these like 5th, 6th, 7th rounders. You see him in one game, you're like, oh, that dude can't play.
Even when you talk about having 4 turnovers in this game, right? You can play worse quarterback and not turn the ball over at all. We've seen it here. We've seen the Jonathan Quinn games and things like that where the guy didn't turn the ball over at all, but he was 8 of 20 for 89 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles. He didn't do anything. He was terrified. This kid isn't terrified. He's trying. He's throwing the ball. This time he threw it to the other team 3 times, and he got strip sacked for 1. But you can play worse football than he played today. They were still within a score of winning the game, even with 5 turnovers.
And I like how he cattled himself right there in the press conference, like, this is terrible, it's all on me, da-da-da-da. You know, before this was good, but it ended up, you know, he obviously underlined what his teammates had done for him, which is, I think, at least partly why he's got some level of popularity in there. And then he owned the fact that, you know, hey, it's on me. It's embarrassing. And you know, I like the other part of it. Nothing changes. He's going to try to keep on working, trying to get better, and you know, hopefully he won't play again for a while because Justin's going to be back and he's healthy and he's going to be going well.
Dan Evans, $20 super chat. At least Tyson is not afraid to throw the ball into traffic. He can learn from 3 touchdowns. And you know what? There's some truth to that because I think someone can make a valid argument that he shouldn't have thrown that ball to Cole Kmet on Cole Kmet's amazing touchdown grab that he had. And we probably haven't talked enough about that. But he gave his guy a chance to go make a play. And sometimes in the NFL, you got to do that. You see one-on-one coverage, you got to throw it up and say, hey,
make a play
for me. And that's what Cole Kmet did on that one.
Yeah, because the ball placement wasn't exactly perfect. Cole had to go and snatch it from the DB. You saw ball placement be an issue on the Tyler Scott interception thrown behind him. But, you know, he's going to learn these things if he can continue to progress in this league. He has enough there to show that he can find a way. There's a pathway that exists for him to make it in this league. Now, is that going to be a starter or is somebody that's a 10, 15-year solid backup option? We don't know that yet.
And 2 of those picks were the absolute right decision. I'm okay with that, right? I hate the egregious interceptions where it's the poor decision. Like, what were you doing? You couldn't have completed that pass anyway.
Right.
2 of those picks were the right decision. The placement was a little off. He was a little bit behind.
One was late, one was behind.
Yeah, you allowed the DB to come in and make up that ground and then get the pick. The one to Cole Kmet, not so good a decision. You had a hook. You can't be late to hooks. I don't care if they're playing zone or they're playing man. You throw a hook on time and in rhythm or you don't throw it at all. He threw it late. It got picked. No problem. But those other 2, right decision, a little bit better placement. Not only do you have a completion, but you probably got some catch and run on both of those.
And by the way, his scouting report spoke to all of that. It wasn't about his arm strength sucks. It was about the fact that he threw 46 picks and throwing it precisely in a tight window was something that he had to work on. So something he needs to work on. All right. Along those lines, by the way, something that we want you to work on is living the dream of just having beautiful quality products.
I was wondering where you were going. Along those lines.
Listen,
this is the worst
carpeting and flooring.
I thought
you need good carpeting, you need good flooring to be a good quarterback.
I'll say this:
Bagent needs Empire today.
You were a veteran in this industry. Yeah. You're like the Nathan Peterman of Chicago sports media.
Secret Peterman. With Empire today,
what kind of a transition was that?
Good luck to you. With Empire today,
588-2300.
With Empire today, you get shop at home convenience, Herb Howard. You get the right products for your needs. You get quick and professional installation and brags.
Yes, sir.
For somebody who would wear that sweatshirt, you get the low price guarantee for whatever low price you paid for that thing.
This is Mitchell and Ness, baby.
You listen. Empire today is the best place to get new flooring. So there's a bunch of copycats out there like you trying to look like Ditka. But they can't beat us on quality, service, speed. Everything that Empire does there is first class. Look, the philosophy that Empire has is to help you find what you need and not overwhelm you with thousands of choices either. It can be very overwhelming. So if you need flooring, you need carpeting, you need help, do yourself a favor. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners, listen to this, team. All listeners, they can receive $350 off. That's the discount you get when you use the promo code CHGO. $350. Restrictions do apply. But see EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. Look, this is the place that you want to go for your carpeting. We highly endorse it. And I love my friends at Empire Today. $350 off. Use that code CHGO. EmpireToday.com/CHGO.
There's nothing more Chicago than Empire. I mean, my entire life, Empire has been around. Back to when Mr. Empire was still around, and then they went to the cartoon. And I still remember the phone. I still remember the phone number in my head. As soon as it popped up, Empire, like 588-2300. Empire.
Wow. That was some falsetto right there.
High on that one.
Most Chicago thing I.
Okay. Also, Chicago, we had these flowing during
Kids
the game.
don't know about the 90s commercials.
No, they don't.
Goose Island Beer Company. They've been Chicago's beer since
1988.
Thank you. Somebody pays attention on this show.
I do not.
They got Oktoberfest, Beer Hug Family, 312 Wheat Ale, Full Pocket Pills. I had a Full Pocket Pills about halftime.
So I got going on.
There you go, right there. It's right there. It's beautiful. The Full Pocket Pills. Look at everything going on with Herb right now. He's got the outstanding get up as usual.
Hey,
he's drinking a great beer in Full Pocket Pills.
It's really good for real.
It's got the matching 312 in the background. That was accidental, but still works really well. I like it. You can grab ultra fresh brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. Are we ready to go out to New Orleans?
Give me just 1 second to set him up.
Okay.
I've been working on this other stuff, but yes, we do have Nicholas Moreano about to join us.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz.
Somebody in the chat put
Superdome.
Bagent, but INT instead of ENT.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that so far.
There's been a million of them. Thanks for bringing it up.
Well done.
Dang, look at this shot by Nick.
Oh, looking good. Nick's looking good.
I also saw Bagent.
He looks like he's about to do a music video.
Bye. I would say NSYNC, except he's probably not old enough to remember NSYNC. He doesn't even know what
too young for that.
Pantry is.
I know that, you guys. I'm not that young. Come on now.
All right, sorry, Nick.
You're a puppy.
All right, Nick, what do you got for us?
Yeah, you guys. Well, I'm standing inside the Superdome, and I can tell you this right now. It's really sticky up here with all the beer that's spilled. Probably Saints fans celebrating this victory, but yeah, it was a pretty as you guys known, going into some of these locker rooms after losses. There's not a lot of guys available. The same kind of circumstances after this loss, because I think the Bears, and I asked Tyson Bagent this, Cole Kmet, and also DJ Moore, like, they lost this game despite having 5 turnovers, but it was a 1-score game. And I asked Tyson about that, and he said he thought the team played extremely well, you guys. And it's embarrassing. He used the word embarrassing to lose that game and lose that turnover battle this badly. But again, only lose by 1 score. And I feel like that was a sentiment for a lot of the guys in the locker room. They felt like they were in this, but anytime you don't win the turnover battle, you have 8 penalties compared to the Saints 1, you're not going to win football games.
Nick, you talked to DJ Moore. What did he have to say about the drop in the end zone and maybe even the play down the middle? Or anything for that matter.
Yeah, so, Adam, you had that observation about the glove, if it was a factor on the fumble. And DJ Moore was asked about that, and he said it didn't really have anything to do with why he fumbled the ball. He was just trying to make a play, like as he usually does. We usually see DJ Moore fighting for extra yardage, but he said that, the defender just had a nice peanut punch while I think it was Tyrann Mathieu had him wrapped around his leg. So even if he wanted to try to go get the ball after it was punched out, he didn't really have an opportunity to. So it was a really good play by the Saints, but he didn't say that the glove and, it not being on his hand properly had anything to do with why DJ fumbled that ball.
No, did he confirm, though, that it wasn't on properly?
All he said was it didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, well, so I agree with that. That was a straight peanut punch. I think that comes out, regardless. I just thought it was weird he didn't have his glove on right before the play started.
No, that's legit.
So, Nick, you had a chance to talk to Cole Kmet. Did he relay the FU brags? I know that it's in a losing fashion, so he probably forgot to. It's okay.
I can't confirm or, deny whether or not he did say that, Greg, but, it was a pretty funny clip seeing that go around. And, as Cole was scoring touchdowns, we can only imagine what he was saying afterwards. But guys, like he did say, like Cole Kmet was very when he was describing how Tyson Bagent played, he said he played a really good game. And he said when you go back and watch the film, it's going to confirm that. And he said a lot of it is really on some of the skilled guys, including himself, to help out Tyson Bagent on the first interception that looked like it was going towards Cole. He said he doesn't know if Tyson got fooled by the drop 8, but he could do a better job coming back to the football. And he said on that play, he got into more of a scramble mode, and his initial window that he was in, it closed. So he worked back to another window, but he just has to stay on that line and come back for the football, or even at the very least break up that pass. And he said there are a couple of those scenarios in this game where Tyson's making a good throw, but maybe the skill guys are not doing their part in trying to at least not have something be an interception. It could be a broken up pass, like Cole was just saying on the one that was intended for him. But he said that he loved how Tyson was playing in terms of how he ripped the ball, the decision making, and he said that the film's going to confirm that when they go back and watch it.
Nick, with the aerial view in the stadium, did you get a sense of why they were able to kind of unlock some of the things they want to do with Darnell Mooney, especially early in the game? He was kind of getting loose, making some big plays, doing some drags and getting open. Did you get a sense for what they were doing to kind of scheme him open, if anything?
I would just say, like, they finally were, I think, utilizing Darnell Mooney to his strengths. Like, you get that guy out in space, and you can see what he can do with the yards after catch opportunities. I'll tell you this vantage point, I can't even see – this would be the Saints sideline that's closest to the press box. From my vantage point, you cannot see it. Like, I had to literally stand up the entire game from my seat just to kind of see, again, everything that was going on here. But I think just for Darnell Mooney, they were finally utilizing – him the right way, putting him in space, let him get those yards after the catch. And, that's why we saw the most productive Darnell Mooney that we had seen, this season.
I can tell you from that vantage point, I could still see Zach Miller caught that ball. Could see it clear as day from that top of that spaceship you're in right now.
Zach Miller.
Al Riveron, meanwhile, circling shadows on a telestrator.
You suck, Al. Hey, Nick, you were at Bagent too. We just listened to him. What was your number one takeaway?
For me, I think Tyson, he was asked about if this is his last opportunity, you guys, if Justin Fields comes back for Thursday Night Football. Like, how does he think he did overall in terms of just playing these 3 games? And he said he thought he did a lot of good things, can learn a lot, was blessed beyond measure to even have these opportunities. And he had a lot of fun doing so, but he's not going to change his mindset. And that's who Tyson Bagent is. I think we've all come to learn that. But you could see on the field, I think it was after the second interception, he just drops to 2 knees, looks at the ground, and just punches, the turf here inside the Superdome, just because of, I think he puts a lot of preparation into this, you guys. And when it doesn't come out to be the exact execution that he would like it to be, obviously he's frustrated, but he's had a great opportunity, takes full advantage of it, and he's blessed to have it. So that's going to be the question, though, you guys. Thursday Night Football, are we going to see Justin Fields? DJ Moore was asked about it. He doesn't really know. It's a short week. But if there's an opportunity for Justin Fields to play, I'm all for seeing number 1 back on the football field.
I thought one of the things that was the big difference maker in the fourth quarter was the run game for the Bears got shut down. But one of the observations I saw making the rounds, and I agreed with it, was they were only running to the left side, it felt like. Do you feel like they could have maybe tried to – I feel like Darnell Wright's one of their strengths. Why do you feel like they got away from running behind him a little more?
Well, Cole Kmet was asked if there was anything done schematically that changed in the second half as opposed to the first half, because it seemed like there were more of those chunk plays in the first half of this game. And what Cole noticed was that they were playing a little softer on the edges in the second half. And I think when that happens, it wasn't allowing the Bears to maybe replicate what they were doing in the first half. So you didn't see some of those bigger chunk plays. The running game wasn't as much of a factor in the second half, but he did say that the Saints, credit to them, were able to just, again, play softer edges, and that kind of maybe had an implication as to why the Bears weren't able to run the ball as effectively as they would have liked to.
So adjustments are still an issue.
Nick, before you go, by my math, the Bears can still finish 10-7. Do you think they will?
I mean, that's thinking really optimistically, you guys. The Bears they have so many issues, and I think what Cole, this was interesting that he said what he was asked that Matt and Ryan at earlier in the week said that they feel like this team was close, right? Close in whatever close means. But he was asked, do you feel like, you're close? And Cole was like, not in terms of execution standpoint. Alignment and penalties are still a big issue with the team. Like fundamentals, the easy thing, not the easy things, but just the most basic of things are still an issue for this football team, right? And, to finish 10-7, Mark, you at least need to be good in those areas of your football team. And still, the Bears struggle with the most basics of basics. So I don't think they're going to finish that way. Hopefully it's an entertaining last couple of games here to end this 2023 season, because these losses, as you guys know, get pretty stagnant, pretty boring to cover. So we'll see what ends up happening here.
And there aren't even any more fun road trips. LA's behind us. New Orleans is behind us. Tampa. Like, now you're just on the road and you're just like,
you guys had some good. This was a good schedule.
I agree, but I'm saying the good ones are behind us. Now we're talking about Cleveland and Green Bay.
I will not stand for this elitist complaining going on here.
You still get Lambeau. You still get US Bank Stadium.
Nick, Adam Hoge predicted the Bears would win 10 games this year. Do you think that Adam will be right?
No, I don't think any of us are going to be right.
I'd like to ask a much more important question than that one. Who is the most hungover in the press box today? And if the answer isn't Adam Johns, feel free to dodge the question.
So it wasn't Adam Johns. He did come up to me, though, and I'm like, Johns, you have a reputation here, huh? He's like, oh, yeah, there was, a time where he had too much of a good time. But I don't think anyone was really hungover, Adam. And, I had a fun night. But like not too bad of a hangover. I don't know if anyone's had chicken from Brothers. It's like a gas station. Phenomenal chicken, you guys. You can ask anybody in New Orleans. They're going to say the same exact thing. I don't know if anyone can vouch for me here, but
that's the place that Darnell Mooney told me to go to when I did my one-on-one with him. He's a Tulane kid, so he told me to go somewhere. He's like, they got chicken. It's like a little hole in the wall. I can't remember if that's the name he said, but it may have been.
Yeah, it's like a gas station.
Nick, during the telecast, I saw a Saints fan dressed as the Pope sprinkling some kind of like holy water or voodoo juice on the field during a third down. Will there be an NFL investigation into this? Because I'm seeing some cheating going on at the Superdome that I don't appreciate.
Very interesting question, Greg. I don't know.
Hey, Nick.
I did not see this myself, but maybe.
Nick, what did you see? What did you see and what did you think about Montez Sweat's Chicago Bears debut?
Yeah, I think overall the pass rush, we need to see more of it, but there were some times where you saw Sweat either backing down the left tackle. He obviously got his hand on on a third down attempt from Derek Carr, but it just felt like this was another game where the pass rush was just non-existent. And yes, the Bears were still, I think playing competitively on defense despite the I don't know, just overall difficulties they had on third down, but the pass rush, it's still not there. And I didn't think Montez Sweat was going to go have a Khalil Mack debut like he did against the Packers in 2018, but still they have a lot of issues that they need to correct on that side.
Nick, my recommendation is a place called Deanie's. Before you get out of here, get some crawfish, go right up to the bar there at Deanie's, and it's down there in the French Quarter.
Like Giacomo's.
There's a lot of different places.
Oof, get the alligator
Deanie's
sausage.
is great.
It's called Mothers. You went to Brothers. Call them Mothers as well.
Nick, I once interviewed Martellus Bennett at a foot massage place down there. I think you should go there.
Why were you?
True story.
There's so many questions with that, Mark. But okay.
They got a couple's foot massage while he interviewed him.
Yeah. We both kicked back, and Martellus, he was worried what we were going to do for the day. It didn't seem like he was super excited about it, but I told him, I think we should just go get a foot massage and talk, and he got fired up. So I think you should go to that spot. Bring, I don't know, Josh, bring Schrock with you. He'll Schrock wants to hang out.
Josh Schrock?
Because Schrock was awesome on Friday.
That'll be excellent.
Schrock foot massage?
Schrock would enjoy a foot massage. Schrock's up for fun.
Go to Colette's, Nick. Trust me.
Foot massage, Nick.
All right, I'll jot all those things down, and I'll ask Josh Schrock if he wants to go get a foot massage.
Next time we'll give you these recommendations before you go to New Orleans.
Yeah, Adam, I didn't know about the press box being freezing out here. And then I see that message. I'm like, oh, this would have been nice when I was still in Chicago and could pack. But I appreciate
gave you 24 hours notice.
Yeah, I saw it. He told you.
I was in New Orleans already.
Well, you have a coat on, don't you? Like, but that's how cold it is. He's still cold. He's wearing a jacket. I don't know why it's so cold up there.
You gave Nick pneumonia. You messed with our reporter.
All right, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Oh, it's getting dark in here, you guys. All right. See you guys.
Not Super Bowl dark.
Lights out on the Bears season. Okay.
Peace, Nick.
This has nothing to do with the Bears, but it made me laugh. There was a controversial call in the Commanders game today where KJ Henry got called for roughing the passer on Mac Jones, and
he didn't even throw the ball.
They called the weight thing where he landed on him, but it really didn't look that bad. So I just wanted to highlight this to show you where we've gone with officiating in the NFL. So there was a pool reporter that had to talk to Adrian Hill, the referee, and he said, basically, why'd you call this? And Adrian Hill, the referee, says, I was the calling official, and the call was roughing the passer due to full body weight. The ruling on the field was that the defender came down with forcible contact chest to chest. He didn't perform one of those acts to remove most of that body weight, a gator roll, or a clear to the side when he was coming in.
So
he
sick.
came down directly with that force on the player, so the category was full body weight. Follow-up question. In those situations, I'm going to shorten this up. What the hell is the defender supposed to do? And Adrian Hill says there are two common techniques. One we call the gator roll, where he takes that player and rolls to the side so that they both land on their side. That 90-degree rotation as he comes around. Or he comes down and breaks the fall first with hands and knees, almost in like a crab-like fashion on top of the quarterback. So basically, folks, kids at home, if you don't want to commit roughing the passer, turn into an alligator or a crab.
Can we just put flags on the people in the National Football League now? Can we
At least on the quarterback.
I mean, we're already it's an Olympic sport now. Let's just make it the sport. Yeah. We play flag football now. It's just what it is.
I agree with the premise of them putting in that body weight rule. There were definitely times where, and I think about the one, I think it was on Aaron Rodgers. I think it was it was Kendricks maybe? One of the Vikings linebackers drove, you could see him driving him into the turf with force. Like that, but that to me is so much different than these ones where you're just tackling the quarterback, and where are you supposed to go?
Have you been the ones back in my back, huh?
No, I was just saying, the problem with the penalty is it actually takes a human being to be able to know football and to be able to interpret what just happened, and we're having a lot of trouble doing that, apparently.
It's just not the same game, man. They used to have – I'm fine for protecting the quarterback, right? We talked about TJ Edwards coming through on the blitz today and getting to Derek Carr, and he came through, got a real solid shot on him, but he didn't – TJ didn't even fall. He just popped him kind of with his chest and backed off like that, and that's fine. I'm okay with how they've changed the rules to protect the quarterback, but it goes way too far. I'm fine with you not wanting 300-pound guys to come and they land full weight on the quarterback. But what am I supposed to do? I can't tackle him. Some of these things are just getting absolutely ridiculous, and you're finding these guys upwards of $50,000 for some of these things. It's
They fined 3 different running backs, including Deontay Foreman. I think his fine was $48,000 for basically lowering their head to absorb what a defender coming in. I get what they're trying to outlaw there, but
come on, man.
One of them, the one on Patrick Ricard, the fullback on the Ravens. He's just blocking the guy.
I saw the one on Swift of the Eagles. I saw that one going around Twitter this morning. I was
he's playing running back is what he's doing, and he got fined for it. So it's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And they keep saying player safety, but then they let these guys just cut each other and break, target their knees.
Right. That's a super chat.
Whenever they want. Nathan Johnson says $5. Easiest way to protect the quarterback is to play the Bears.
Good one, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
And everybody in the chat.
A bye week.
Yeah, listen to Braggs. Be respectful in the chat. That would be very nice. Back to the football field. By the way, the Panthers are down 20-3 at half to Gardner Minshew and the Colts.
Woo!
Let's go.
Bryce.
Let's go. I look forward to the Panthers beating the Bears on Thursday because that would be the most Bears thing
That would be
ever.
the Bearsiest thing ever.
I mean, it's
Bears
good.
beat them 24-3, and then for a week, it's like, for 10 days, it's like, it's like they have that long, after party for the Commanders game. They're going to have another long after party for the Panthers. Like, we got it.
I was
then
already
Detroit comes.
halfway through this game. I was like, man, the Bears could get to 4-6 before the mini bye.
That did occur to me. I'm not gonna lie. I started
Here
doing
we
the math.
come,
I'm like,
baby. Then they lose. I'm like, tank is back on. Tank is back on. Never mind.
Well, and I'm not saying it's a great time to be a Bears fan right now, but
It's not.
Hold on. Imagine if you're the Panthers. You traded your top wide receiver for the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, that sucks.
You picked Bryce Young, who is 7 of 14 for 35 yards with no touchdowns and interception. You passed on CJ Stroud, who just threw for 4,900 yards today and won a game 39-37.
You gave up a future first round.
And you don't
pick.
have the number 1
Right.
pick,
And
which
you
you're about to earn.
You gave up a future first round pick, which could end up being a top 5, top 3, or even number 1. You gave up DJ Moore, and you passed on CJ Stroud.
could you imagine last year's Bears season if they didn't have their first round pick?
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Because that's like basically what's happening in Carolina. Like if we
Correct.
were doing this show every week in Carolina, they're losing and they don't have their pick. Like what
No first round pick?
what would be the point?
That's why, to me, it's like, I know it's gloom and doom. Bears suck, and nobody wants to hear a shred of optimism. And if you don't believe in Ryan Poles, then mute your TV for the next 30 seconds, probably a minute. To me,
3 minutes.
I would say
there
4.5
is
minutes.
a light at the end of the tunnel for this team. You can see it. 4 years ago, when they traded for Khalil Mack and they got the quarterback wrong, they were left in darkness. They did not have a light at the end of the tunnel to fix this. This Bears team is starting to build the trenches. That's what anybody that's ever played the game, Corey Wooten talks about it every Monday, build through the trenches. You got Darnell Wright, Nate Davis, who you brought in on a veteran deal. You have an opportunity to draft a left tackle. Tevin Jenkins looks like a freaking beast out there when he's
Played well
healthy.
today.
Played well today. You brought in Montez Sweat. You have a boatload of money coming up this offseason. You have 2 first-round picks that could end up being top 5 picks. It's not fun right now.
Got your run stuff in nose tackles.
It sucks right now, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for this organization to turn it around and turn it around quickly.
I love your optimism. And
I thought that was well said, Jake Flanagan.
Yeah.
Also in less than 4 minutes. That was good.
Maybe even less than 30 seconds. Did I just black out? What the happened?
The reality, the reality of what you just said is, or whatever, the biggest underlining concern in what you just said is that until they figure out, and you can fill it all around, and you need to do that, give the guy the chance. But until they figure out who is the quarterback
and the head coach,
well, sure, that's all part of it. Then you're still in the wilderness, and I'm not seeing
the
anything.
3 technique.
And
The 3 technique.
And
we understand they have holes. Head coach and quarterback are going to define, because in my opinion, Ryan Poles is going to be the GM going forward.
I think so, too.
The head coach and quarterback decision that he makes this offseason is going to define his career as a GM in this league and for the Chicago Bears.
all right. We can either play Cole Kmet here, or we could go to Carms Notes.
Whatever you guys want to do, we could do an ad.
I'd like to hear a minute of Cole Kmet and maybe a minute of DJ, and then get to the notes if we have time to do that.
I don't
But
know if we have DJ. I know we have
DJ?
Cole Kmet.
we got DJ.
We do.
We do.
We definitely have. We definitely have Cole Kmet. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Cole Kmet.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this up here.
Cole Kmet in the locker room talking to, I believe this was our own Nicholas Moreano, who got this beautiful, outstanding sound. Is that a picture from this, too? Is he wearing a Cubs hat post-game?
This is post-game.
Okay.
He wears that hat a lot.
Let's put a White Sox hat on him already. All right, here he is, Cole Kmet.
In what ways do you think you're close, and in what ways do you think you're not?
Yeah, well, we're not close in terms of our execution standpoint, in terms of just simple, alignment and penalties. False start penalties can't happen. Holding penalties, we got to mitigate those. And, you don't want to take the aggressiveness out of guys when you take the holding calls, but We just got to be more disciplined with that. So, like you look on there, I don't know how many penalties they won.
One for
yeah,
five.
so like that's I don't know, how many did we have? Do you know?
8 for 16.
Yeah,
7,
that's tough.
7.
And then we had 5 turnovers. Hard to win an NFL football game like that.
How do you feel about Tyson's voice?
It was great. I really did think he played great. And I think the film will show that. And like I said, I think we got to be better as a skill group in terms of making, maybe he makes the wrong decision, but we got to be better in terms of coming back to the football, breaking it up, or if some of those he's going to the right guy, we got to be better in the routes.
It really did seem like it turned quickly. For about 2.5 quarters, you guys were doing really well.
We were,
and
yeah.
Once it stopped, it really stopped.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we came kind of to a screaming halt there. It was. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, where they're on our side of the 50 for the better half of the fourth quarter. Every play. That's great. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I've never seen that in my life. And no points scored? Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. So that's pretty nuts. And, defense did a good job. But we got to be able to get out of that situation and be able to get some points there.
Called up first interception. It looked like he was.
Well, I appreciate him, trying to have Bagent back there.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not going to say that his quarterback played poorly. What I do appreciate off the top, though, was – it wasn't the Flus press conference where we're close, we're doing this. He's like, we're not close. We can't even line up properly.
Not close. In terms of execution, he's right.
Thank you, Cole.
I love Cole. That is not. It's not just because he's here. For a long time I've been a fan of Kmet. I wanted him to get paid. I'm glad they did it.
Wait, he's got a chance to make the Pro Bowl this year. 2 more touchdowns today. He's blocking well. He's making great catches.
Phenomenal teammate.
He's having a good season.
Phenomenal teammate.
Wow. I mean, he had 7 touchdowns last year.
So.
Yeah. For him, remember how the whole thing at the start was that he couldn't score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Now he's got 14. I think he's 4th all-time in Bears history or something among tight ends.
It's also an elite touchdown celebration. I love his baseball action. But he's right. They are a long way away from being a good football team.
It was the FU Brags game. I was so looking forward to celebrating
You wanted it to be.
Well, it was for the first half. It was. I mean, the amount of people, tweeting at me FU Brags in the first half.
It felt good.
It was very funny. It felt good because it just shows how much people enjoy our show and what we do here. And Cole Kmet coming on Tuesdays and having fun with us. And yeah, he scored a couple touchdowns. FU Brags game was in effect. Of course, he fell short, so we can't joke about it with him. And now he's not going to be here on Tuesday, right? Because they play on Thursday.
Just so everyone knows, we're probably not going to have Cole here. There is a chance he joins us maybe Friday. He did that last time they played on Thursday. He jumped on the remotely on Friday, so wouldn't rule that out yet. But not for sure.
We're not doing a show on Friday. No,
lazy lasers come through with the super chat. $1.99. We appreciate it. Terrible ending, but oh my God, Cole Kmet is amazing. There you go.
Thank you, Lazy.
All right, let's get to Carms Notes. I'm really excited about this. Carm spent the first half not writing things down, and he's like, I don't have a notebook. And then I pointed out there was literally a stack of 17 notebooks within arm's reach.
It was a good job by you.
So now he's got some great notes.
And then this is my note, but it's really Hoge's note because he told me to write down fake toss boot, which both you and her were freaking out about.
Great fake toss boot. They've been running toss so much with Bagent. I asked Getsy about it a couple weeks ago. They go fake toss boot around the other side, create a situation where the defender cannot be right. He's either got to cover Cole Kmet in the flat or run at Bagent, in which case he throws it to Kmet. When he sticks with Kmet, Bagent puts his foot in the ground, gets upfield, first down. Great play call.
Fake toss
we even had
is literally my favorite play.
Ooh.
It's literally my favorite play, especially if you hit a couple of good tosses where you get one for 12 or 9, and then now you carry that thing all the way out. You get the full toss motion from the backfield and the quarterback, and then all you have to do is sell it enough for that end to crash down. You beat that end around. Now you got all day out there. You got a tight end drag. You got the back slide receiver coming on a deep post. You got a hook in your face. You got everything you want. And like Hoge said, that defender on the tight end can't be right. He stays with the tight end, you just run. He comes up and gets you. You dump it over his head. You can't be wrong. I love that play. We don't see it enough.
Would have been nice to see a fake toss boot perhaps in the fourth quarter. Also, you just FU Brags is on here, so we just covered that part of it.
That had nothing to do with Cole Kmet, though. That was just us telling him to F off.
Yeah, I was right when Bagent was having success. I was screaming at Braggs to F off, and then he tweeted about how right I was, and then Tyson Bagent died.
I jinxed it.
All right,
my friend that I've known my whole life, he told me, he's like, yeah, everybody's saying F you now, but I've been saying it for 25 years before it was cool.
Well, I mean, we love you. I don't even feel comfortable talking about F you, Braggs. Hoge at one point said Aaron Rodgers and comparing him to Tyson Bagent. Thoughts?
See how the turntables with these Carm Notes.
You
get exposed.
You said Aaron Rodgers. Is he more Aaron Rodgers or something? I wrote down Aaron Rodgers.
I was obviously trying to feed the beast. I turned to him and I go Rodgers.
That is that's some police stuff right there,
right?
Man.
But
like to just use the letter of what he said and just throw it out there completely out of context.
Completely out of context. I got multiple witnesses.
See, that's peeled behind the curtains right here because like on the pregame show, these guys are all talking like, oh, we got to be balanced reporters. We're not meatballs. These three were over here. We're two different sides of the studio. These three over here hooting and hollering during the game, going crazy.
Huge Bears
meatball
fan.
Takes flying all over the place.
No meatball takes. I am a huge Bears fan. Have been my whole life. But that meatball stuff is a different situation.
I am going to convert you into a meatball before the end of the year.
It's not going to happen because
everything in my power.
I'm too sensible about the game.
All right,
I'm going to destroy your senses.
Rodgers.
The amazing Bagent scramble where he dove for the first down, put it out there.
That was good.
And the female official marked it wrong or then marked it right, and then there was a conversation because
the official.
That's the note.
Because that's the note. Somebody here in the office said that's the first time a man has ever convinced a woman that the woman was wrong.
Oh God,
that happened.
These Carm Notes are getting too dangerous around here.
I mean, hey, 2023. This is like day, right?
This is like
we all know us men. We all know that we're always wrong and that they're right. I subscribe to the females.
Everybody's gonna be watching their back with Carms Notes busted out here.
Well, just hang on. I got you on here.
Oh, shit. I said something stupid.
Shout out. How about the Flus challenge, by the way, on that play? The Flus challenge.
Can we just back up a second? Because you just completely just blew was maybe the best line that was said here the entire day.
Well, you guys talked over it and ruined it.
No, you set it up poorly. So the official, by the way, line judge Maya Shaka. Awesome name. Okay. She had an okay game. I noticed her twice when she didn't spot the ball right twice.
Yeah.
And she can be called out like any other official, and I call a lot of officials.
We're equal opportunists calling out.
She was off by a yard, and the other official, I don't know which one it was, came in and was like, move the ball. And then Kevin Kaduk made a great line when he said, that's the first time ever a man has convinced a woman.
Kevin's like, why did we come back
with that? There's nothing wrong with that. That's hilarious.
I agree. You all are the PC police over here. That's totally fine. I thought Kevin's
that's giving women credit for always being right.
Yeah,
it's the only time we've ever seen it.
Just stubborn.
Well, the issue.
Okay, now that's where I.
He just said
I'm not going to point out who's over there.
He couldn't change her mind.
Right Someone over there is giving
Herb's
you a
going to have a long walk home.
Well,
Herb's going to have a rough evening.
I'm always in trouble. It's fine.
Okay.
Krista, if you're watching at home, you are right.
Kevin Kaduk in the chat, I'm going to get canceled.
No.
Kevin, this is great.
By the way, Kevin, it was funny.
It was hilarious.
And it was also true.
Well, and the issue I had with the play, too, is when she came up to spot the ball, she was 10 yards behind where when the ball went out of bounds. Like, you didn't have a clear view of where to spot it. Where is the line judge there?
She wasn't close either.
Maya
she spotted
Shaka?
that yard.
The other one, she ran in.
Oh, she would have got a DUI for sure on that. Was that in your notes? Because somebody said that.
Yeah, that missed my notes, but yes, she ran in on the on the Saints when they went for it at 4th and 1 because they were so afraid that Bagent was going to lead 2 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter, and then she had an amazing spot on that play and gave the ball back to the Bears because Maya Shaka maybe bet on the Bears today. All right, Hoge. Also making the notes today, Hoge, like literally for about a half hour today, has been complaining that he needs Tommy John surgery because he got a high five in his Carmel football game and his elbow fell off. So prayers up for Hoge.
Shout out to Nick Jung, outstanding defensive lineman that we have. You know, defense made a nice play to start the game, got the fumble recovery right away. Nick's coming off the field. I put down a high five. He goes hard high five. Immediately felt a pop in my elbow. Still feel a little numbness here. Pretty sure I need Tommy John surgery.
Pretty sure I need Tommy John.
I think my UCL is gone. You know what? But we played on. I didn't even mention it the whole game.
No good deed goes unpunished. I say
honestly,
this all the time.
It wasn't.
Can't be high-fiving these teenagers. They go crazy.
And also, I obviously have a very weak right arm.
You need to do yoga.
I am the oldest 37-year-old that exists.
You're in trouble.
My back right now is shot. My elbow, I need Tommy John. 2 weeks ago, it was my neck. Nobody wants to hear me complain, especially my wife.
You've got a punch. You're doing a lot of things wrong.
You got gray hair though, man.
It's grayer by the minute.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
I mean, it's great too. But.
Thank you.
All right, gonna move through these.
I'll take the great hair. Thank you. Appreciate that,
Herb. Herb invited me to a Southside bar, and we're gonna follow through on that.
Let's do it.
I mean, I need to branch out, and then Herb, of course, didn't respect the fact that I am the tennis champion at Chicago State University 4-0, so I own the Southside. Damn it!
Own the Southside.
Wow. Look, there might be some places you own. The South Side is definitely not it.
Chicago State is 10 feet off of the Dan Ryan. I'm sure you went, Dan Ryan, oh my God. Chicago State, oh my God. Dan Ryan, back north, back north, back north, back north. Please don't ever take me south of Cermak again in life. Well, 35th, you like the Sox. Sorry.
I live in the South Loop. I'm not going to take the slander. I'm
the South Loop. Come on.
I'm at 13th in Michigan.
Oh.
I'm rough and tumble.
Oh.
I'm south of Roosevelt.
Oh.
I'm south of Roosevelt.
I'm south of Roosevelt.
Jesus Christ.
Just
be all through Inglewood and South Shore and O-Block.
All right. What else trouble can we get into during this
Carms
Notes?
is the most dangerous Carm Notes segment.
I need to know if Carm's a Harold's or Uncle Remus guy now. What's your
Harold's. All right. Look at Flus using timeouts with 49 seconds left in the half. There was a big celebration in here.
We were all surprised that he knew he couldn't roll those things over to the second half.
Yeah. He found the timeout.
Good on Flus.
Good for him.
We were having a big conversation about Jack Sanborn, how he never played with Roquan Smith, and Adam Hoge's comment was, if Jack Sanborn ends up in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to still be upset that the Bears never paired him with Roquan.
I mean that, by the way.
In the chat put Carman O-Block.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
I mean that, by the way. If Sanborn makes the Pro Football Hall of Fame someday, I will still stand there that day and be like crying that they never put him next to Roquan Smith. They just traded Roquan before even looking to see what that might look like.
Yeah. Sanborn was amazing today. Shout out to Albert Ramon, the chief meteorologist at CBS 2. That dude popped up on my screen out of nowhere. Mississippi State University, nicknamed the Rainmaker. Albert, you are officially invited to come on the CHGO Bears show.
Throw it into the lens like on Around the Horn.
What's your affinity for him? What happened?
Okay, so you got to know the ads. You didn't even get it in the camera shot. That was brutal.
I got another.
So CBS 2 has been running these ads where the people from the newsroom basically do like, an intro on like Sunday Night Football where they're like, Adam Hoge, University of Wisconsin. So Albert Ramon pops on your screen out of nowhere. He's like, Albert Ramon, meteorologist, Mississippi State.
Yep.
And then it says on the screen, nickname, the Rainmaker.
Wow.
I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I like that Hoge has to properly explain these notes to make them make sense in the context.
Make them better?
Yeah, they're better.
Yeah.
You trying to do what you're doing right now is unacceptable. All right.
Also, what I'll do better, even though I have Tommy John surgery on the schedule.
Careful,
Let's go. It's closer than.
I don't think it was much better.
I don't think it got on the screen either.
Nope. All right.
I get next attempt.
Also, now I need some ice.
And then me. Right.
Couple of quick ones here. 3rd and 1, tush push. Cody Whitehair was offside. That was gross.
That was fun.
Bad.
DJ Moore and his gloves made the notes. I don't know what was going on there. Apparently, we still don't know with that situation. No pass rush made the notes because the Bears once again had no pass rush. Herb went completely nuts, and so did Hoge on Deontay Foreman and his no high knees.
Oh, my God.
Can you just not
Pick
fall down?
Your your knees up, Deontay Foreman. You think you can jump over DBs in a single bound, but when you're getting out into open space and somebody's trying to grab a shoestring tackle, you won't go full Roger Craig and just pick your knees up. You could have scored.
That was a great throw.
That was good. I like that.
I appreciated the Roger Craig reference earlier. That was nice.
Yeah.
Did the Bears still score on that drive? I have to go back and look because that should have been a touchdown.
That's a good question.
And then the same one earlier where we thought Mooney, when he got all that yak on that one play,
he should have went up to the outside. He cut back in. I thought if he stayed out,
I'm pretty sure they still scored a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah, one of those.
But the Foreman one might have been a missed opportunity.
That might have been the doink drive.
I think it would have been, yeah. Or the made field goal later drive.
And the last page of my notes was everything from the Tyson Bagent press conference. Good on their part, bad on my part. Go somewhere else with the ball. We played extremely well. It's so embarrassing, but I'm going to learn from this experience. Extreme amount of fun. I'm going to prepare like I'm starting the rest of the way. 17, I still got you. Go ahead. Let's see what you got there, buddy.
Which camera? The
Try to hit. Just, nope. I had the
it was
best
good
throw.
height.
Me.
It was good height.
Okay.
It was good height, not right.
I mean, mine was the closest to the camera, but it still didn't make the shot.
No. I zoomed through. That was.
I had good
Let's
height.
see.
Let's
We
go.
can do this.
I'm gonna back out the camera for sure.
Let's see it.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was the closest.
Jeez.
That was definitely the closest.
5 pounds sterling.
5
David
sterling
Walsh.
pounds. I love the sterling
Can
pound.
somebody please explain dressing to Carm? T-shirt before sweatshirt. It's not complicated.
Can somebody explain dressing to Carm?
Let's read it again because he wasn't listening.
Let's do a poll. Put us both on the screen here, Lawrence, because he was talking crap about my Mitchell and Ness sweater here.
I look way better than you.
David Walsh says, "Can somebody please explain to Carm
We just read that.
dressing?" I know.
but Carm wasn't listening, so we have to read it again.
Now we're reading it for a fourth time. I'm here.
T-shirt before sweatshirt. It's not complicated.
No. This is brand awareness. This says CHGO. You should buy this sweet T-shirt. If I wore it underneath, then I wouldn't be representing the brand. And by the way, this is a very thin, sweet sweatshirt that looks unbelievable as a two-tone situation here. And you, David Walsh, don't know style, so I don't know what you're talking about. And this is a comfortable hoodie too. And it's going to be perfect when I get out there in a little bit of chill tonight for my walk home and get it done.
Go to sleep. B-Rabbit.
B-Rabbit.
I've never heard. There was a weird emphasis on B. You look like B-Rabbit.
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 Your style's generic. Mine's authentic made.
Look, we're all representing things we care about on the show today, and I have no problem.
What? No, just go.
What did he say?
I got the caramel sweatshirt on.
I've got black.
Yeah.
It matters.
Damn straight. Let's go.
Everything's good here.
We got style.
If we're going to point out style, what's going on with your ladybug socks and your blue shoes?
I think this is a great look. What are you talking about? I got my
You don't have anything red.
My Carolina Jordans and a little bit of Bulls action here. I was hoping that was going to be good luck for the Bears today. Channeling in
the Bulls would bring good luck to the Bears.
I'm thinking
what
about
kind
MJ.
Of logic is that?
MJ.
Didn't they lose by a dub last night?
Forget about that.
At
Look at
halftime, they were
these.
up
This is
2,
a
and
great
he's like,
look.
Let's go. I was like, calm down.
I mean, whatever. These were the socks that fell out of my dryer this morning, and I looked at the shoes, and I wanted to wear the blue and white today. That's how that went down.
Let's get to the rest of these super chats.
Get to the rest of the super chats.
T189. Twan?
This would have been so fun if the fourth quarter didn't happen the way it happened.
Oh,
I'm still having a great time.
this is cool.
I had a great time watching the game.
It was a fun game.
I had a great time doing
Until
the
it wasn't.
show. I like everybody here. And I'm happy about that 50-7 victory yesterday. 999. Not an indictment on Sweat, but did we really think the defense was going to look any better? This coaching staff is bad. So is the scheme.
It's a terrible trade. They should.
Here's the one thing I really I don't have a problem.
kidding.
Montez Sweat really just welcome to the Bears.
Everybody comes here and gets worse.
Good luck if you can get to the quarterback. The one play I just did not like was when he couldn't get off that block from A.T. Perry, wide receiver who used to play at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, bigger defensive end. Can you please get off that block for me?
Throw him away and make a play. Listen, I like Montez Sweat. I think he's fine. I don't know that he is going to be this game wrecker that keeps OCs up at night, that's going to make these game-changing plays. I thought the defense played fine. I'm not mad at the defense today at all, right? So I feel what Twan is saying, but when you talk about, the defense being bad, I think the defense is okay, right? You get 5 turnovers, 24 points. They never had a snap on the minus side of the field the entire fourth quarter, but they also did not score, right?
That's crazy.
The defense played well enough to win a game, especially when the offense gives the ball away 5 times.
Bears got their ass kicked in the field position game today too. That didn't help.
That actually, it's a good underlining. The defense did not look good early, but some adjustments were made. Good on you, Flus. They certainly did enough to win. That's a very fair.
Farming Bear 1999 super chat. We seem to do the same conversation week after week, and the GM has his fair share of blame, but these coaches just don't seem to elevate anybody. Also, how much influence does the coach have in personnel?
A good amount.
I'm sorry, Farming Bear.
If nothing else, the coach's scheme dictates the style of player that the GM goes to get. So even if the coach doesn't handpick every player, the GM is picking players for said scheme, right? So at that basic level, he already has impact on personnel.
That's where it doesn't make that much sense to me when you talk about the corners, Tyreek Stevenson and Kyler Gordon, who to me seem like better man-to-man coverage type corners than they are guys that are constantly playing back or in zone.
That's fair.
All right, we got to fire through these super chats. Tristan 999, the Bears were out-coached in the second half. Probably true. I think the Saints made better adjustments.
Second season, you mean.
Yeah, I think the Saints made better adjustments than the Bears did. Christopher 999, I'm just here to see Carm cry or do mental gymnastics his way into a defensive Bagent. Let's hear it, Carm. To Carm's credit, he's been very, I think, objective about
minimal crying.
Christopher, I blamed Bagent for the loss today, and I by the way,
he followed up with
Christopher doubled down. He says for $4.99, if you guys presented him as a backup and helped discourse expectations, no one would be poking fun. But don't fan the flames and backtrack now.
I just think
why you gotta say you guys?
Well, right, because this is
you guy.
Well, this is the world of hyperbole that Bears fans live in, and if you say something remotely critical of Fields, you're a hater of Fields. Or if you say something remotely positive about Tyson Bagent, then you're gassing him up too hard. Now, on the telecast today, you had Boomer Esiason at halftime say that if Tyson Bagent kept playing the way he was, that they were going to have a tough time going back to Justin Fields.
The way he was to win. They scored 7 points last week. Knock it off.
Right. So that is where the emotion.
Chris Collinsworth was.
That's where the emotion of this hyperbole
praising.
happens with Bears fans. When you hear someone on the CBS broadcast, Boomer Esiason, a guy that has a long history in the NFL, Pro Bowls, great player.
An influential guy.
Right, and then saying that about Tyson Bagent, it dials guys up, and then they come into our chat, and then they start yelling at us about how we're a part of the overall problem of this hype machine.
Look, I sang a song about Tyson Bagent. I sang another song about Tyson Bagent. I have liked what I've seen from Bagent.
You're the perceived leader of the Bagent hype train.
And I want to give you credit for it.
Yeah, and so I've done all of that, and I still want to see more of 17, and I've liked a lot of stuff that I've seen. Now, is he ready for prime time right now? Is he ready to win a game on the road and bring you back in the fourth? Or clearly not. Did I want to crawl underneath the couch today in the fourth quarter watching him throw pick after pick and then get stripped? Yes, I did. But I also have said the whole time, just for the record, that I wanted to see more, and whenever Justin Fields was healthy, he should play.
I would love to see Tyson Bagent again in the second quarter of the first preseason game 2024.
Great. No problem. I think we'll see him before then, but yeah, that's right. It would be fantastic for the Chicago Bears if Justin Fields comes back and plays well.
Mark Gauthier?
The GOAT.
The GOAT. 999. Getsy insists on running with no gains and refuses to run right where they were tearing it up. That is when Getsy decides to run, which is very little, too many passes when the Benz is at 125
decibels. It's
All
a
right.
little loud in there for sure.
Yeah, I'm guessing, and I'll go back and watch the tape on this because I had some people texting me too that they weren't running right enough. I'm guessing the Saints were putting some extra help over there because they saw on tape, hey, the Bears run well this way. Let's try to make them run left, which is what you should do in football when teams do something well. You try to take it away. All right, next.
Jacob Murphy, $9.99. I'm sorry to say, Mark, but if we have JF1, we win that game. JF1 throws a pick every once in a while, but three picks plus a fumble, he single-handedly lost us that game. Very ready for JF1's get-right game.
Listen, Justin's won us so many games that I completely understand why you would say that, Jacob.
Quinn Anderson, $9.99. We appreciate you a whole lot. Here's a different hypothetical for you, Braggs. Say we end up not one.
This is the first
with the first round first pick.
Okay.
But first round fourth pick and first round sixth pick.
Okay.
And determine we need a new quarterback. Do you trust Poles to pick the right guy? After today, I'm not so sure. Well, that's interesting to say because they didn't draft Justin Fields. They inherited Justin Fields. They drafted, or they didn't draft Tyson Bagent, but they brought Tyson Bagent in, who's intriguing for a Division II quarterback. I know that somebody was tweeting at me too. They were definitely keen on evaluating Aiden O'Connell too, another late round quarterback who I think he's up like 21-0 right now on the Giants. So I guess the question is Ryan Poles? How do you think Ryan Poles is at evaluating quarterbacks? I mean, everybody's, I guess, blaming him for not seeing the light with CJ Stroud.
Sure.
So I don't know. That's an interesting question.
It would be under the umbrella of we have no idea, but
I like Michael Penix, but I don't know if he's worthy of a pick at 4 or 6.
No
I don't
chance.
like any
Right.
I don't like
He's
any
like a
left-handed
late-
quarterback.
he's in the
not
late
named Steve
20s.
Young.
I'm not there with J.J. McCarthy either. Big Cram, $9.99. I'm also 100% convinced we deal with the devil, Michael.
we made a deal with the devil on Michael Jordan. Did something along those lines.
Okay.
Right. The deal with the devil is that we got Michael Jordan, so that means we will never have another nice thing in this city with the Bears. Which, if you asked me,
whatever deal with the devil Michael Jordan did.
I know I'm on a Bears show here and a diehard Bears fan, but I did live through the Michael Jordan era, at least for the most part, not in the same way Carm did because he's super old, so he got to see every inch of that career. But
That's correct.
I wouldn't trade the Michael Jordan era for anything in my life. It was the greatest time I will ever live, and if you didn't live it, I just
Chicago
feel bad
is the
for you.
greatest city on earth.
Adam's giving me I gotta go because I gotta do the Hogan Johns podcast. So quit talking. Look,
That's correct. Nathan Johnson, $5. Did Sanborn's performance today say anything about the Edmonds contract? Maybe we didn't have a need at that position, at least.
Nathan, I had that thought about 100 times.
That goes back to what I said earlier about Roquan.
I mean, the money was going to be the same. You're either going to pay Roquan the amount that you paid Tremaine and TJ. It would have been the same. Sanborn would have been either way, would have been here on the same contract either way.
DJ Spawn, $5. Can we trust the coaching staff to call a good game for Justin Fields?
No, we cannot.
Okay. Asked and answered. Cornelius Pryor, $4.99. The blame, besides 17, goes on the penalties, particularly the O-line.
Yep.
Holding penalties and false starts. It is driving me crazy.
2 false starts
on
on 58, holding on 62. I think 2 of those.
By the way, I want to.
And a carpet bowling roll on 62.
Can we snap a football? Snap a football.
they just had one bad snap today.
This is the National
No, they
Football
didn't. There was
League,
one
man.
up here.
And there was one on the floor
Top
and one in the
gun.
sky.
Can we just snap a ball? Also, can you not line up offsides on offense? That's unbelievable. And especially, I'm going to put some of that on the coaches. That's been a point of emphasis. If you've been watching any of these football games last couple of weeks with how much
attention,
hype
the tush
and attention has been on this tush push, they're starting to call this offsides on the guard. So as a coach, you need to make sure, hey, they're looking for this. Make sure you don't line up offsides. Now, if they did do that and Cody Whitehair still lined up offsides, 100% on him, but something tells me they didn't do that. Quentin Helms, $4.99. DJ Moore had the same targets as Valus in the second half. Second straight week of 0 usage in the second half. What are we doing? I am tired of seeing Velus Jones on the field on offense. Yeah. Enough of that.
It's hard for me to defend him at this point. Nick, $5. Nick, we appreciate you. The franchise has just become dudes talking about what QBs we should have drafted year after year. If CJ was our QB1, we'd say we should have kept JF. Probably right about that. Like, it just, whoever is, it's just, there's so many things wrong around the quarterback that it's just hard to single him out. I will say that if JF1 had turned the ball over 4 times today, the city would be killing him.
Cool. You're right about that.
Brandon Ventura, $5. What do you think of trading for
us? Trading for Captain Kirk as in Cousins if Justin doesn't work.
No.
I will quit my job and cover a different team.
It's a no for me, dog.
I know there's another prominent media member in this town that is putting that out there as something that he would do.
Who?
I don't know if he put it out there.
Name names.
Name them.
No.
Someone said it to you in private, and now you're going to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm not putting it out there. At least I don't know if he has put it out there.
I thought you said they had been putting it out there.
You know, behind the scenes, to me, he did, and I think he's nuts. But we'll talk about it another time.
Does his name rhyme with?
Yes.
David Kaplan.
I don't know that guy. I have no idea who that is. I love Cap.
Hey, Cappy came out to the Carmel game yesterday. I appreciate that.
Did he say hello to you, or did he just talk to other people?
He said hello. What kind of question is that?
I don't know. There's a lot of people on that staff.
Me guy. He only wants his own friends. He can't be your friend, too. He's my friend. He's my friend. Richard Butnick comes through with the $4.99 super chat. What's y'all's opinion on best scenario for the team this year? I see winning just enough to not have a QB discussion. I can't bear it, pun intended.
Oh, you're in Chicago, and there's going to be a QB discussion.
I have no idea what the best case scenario is for the Bears right now, but Justin Fields playing well would be a good scenario for sure.
That's best case scenario.
I just win. I'm sick of losing. I'm absolutely sick of it. So I don't have any, hey, I can see the value in losing. That was last year. I had not come into this season with that expectation or that desire. I'm not going to shift midseason. Win some damn games. Justin play good football. See where we at when that's done.
I can think of 4 winnable games off the top of my head. I mean, obviously one's is coming up.
Panthers, Vikings, Packers, Cardinals. I need to look at the schedule.
But I'm not going to talk myself into another Packers victory.
We aren't going to Minnesota and winning.
All right, I'm gonna.
Josh Dobbs throws his 3rd touchdown.
I'm gonna rip through these last 4 here. Sam Fell, he says fire puke Gonzi, not great. Nick sells ATL with a couple $2 super chats. Why do the Bears refuse to run slants occasionally? And where do you get those rose-colored glasses that Flus wears?
We played excellent.
And then,
if he's talking to me, my rose-colored
Flus. He said Flus.
Right, but I think he's talking to me.
That was after we played Flus. Yeah.
Oh,
he's reacting to Flus.
Everything's not about you, other me guy.
Yeah, me guy. I was just going to say my rose-colored glasses towards the light at the end of the tunnel of this team does not include Matt Eberflus.
And then Dana Jones, why doesn't the D-line run stunts? Why don't they run stunts?
Good question, Dana.
And we'll end it here with B.
More stunts, Doug.
TNT.
We need to run more stunts.
Go after him. What? Do you know something that rhymes with stupid? Stupid.
B. TNT.
Oh, listen, please give us a few more likes for this video. We've been here since 10 a.m. We went live at 11. We watched the game. We came back and got with you guys for a couple more hours. It was brutal for you guys. It's brutal for us, too, but we are here hanging out, talking Bears, and vibing with y'all. I think that is worth a little bit of a thumbs up. So please give us a quick second. Give us a like. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a good day, Appreciate you guys all being here.
It's fun.
Make it fun as much as we can.
Appreciate you coming out.
I might skip all the rest of the road games. Whatever. I don't. I'm those depressing post game locker rooms don't need me in it anyway. So
those
whatever.
will wear on you a little bit. And make sure Thursday watch party. It's happening. Joe's on weed. Coming out. Well, more details tomorrow.
Circa event.
Yep.
And Brian Urlacher is going to be in attendance. And if you're coming out to the tailgate, you can head on over with us to the watch party at Joe's on Weed Street with our guys over at Circa. It's going to be an exciting night. Going to be rooting vehemently for the Chicago Bears to pull off a win. with a Hall of Fame linebacker in Brian Urlacher. So stay tuned for more details. There's the Foco bobblehead, and that is why I love Lawrence, because he's always on point, because you can get that Foco stander of Brian Urlacher right there if you get fitted out in the best sports gear around using FOCO and using the code CHGO on all non-presale items, hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Football season, baseball season, basketball season, they have it all. Set decorations like that Urlacher little stand-up. It's not a bobblehead. It's like it's sweet, though. That's what I'll say. Just get it. They've donated some of these awesome pieces to our set. They've showed us some love, so go show them some love. Check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. FOCO, FOCO.
And before we leave, I'll mention one more time, if you're interested in going to the game Thursday night, thanks to a nice donation from our guy Mike, loyal listener, we have 2 tickets that we're auctioning off. Section 103, row 17. They're good seats. Just hit me up in my DMs on Twitter. At Adam Hoge, let me know what you're willing to pay for them. All the proceeds going to benefit the 22Q Family Foundation. It is 22Q Awareness Month, and again, all those proceeds go there. And please check out the 22Q Family Foundation for more information and to learn a little bit about 22Q. We are out of here. Appreciate everyone being here today. One last super chat from Richard, 199. Can Herb read me Goodnight Moon? I like his voice.
I thought Braggs should take us out by singing the fight song one more time.
I got you, Rich.
Oh, we always sing the damn fight song.
Yeah, how about we don't do that?
Wow. How about we win some damn games?
Singing the fight
Get us out of here, Hoge.
Hogan John's coming up in about 10 minutes, I think. Johnsy's.
I'll be writing my grades.
If he's still alive. Superdome. We got a lot more coverage coming up. AllCHGO.com. Knicks coverage from New Orleans. AllCHGO.com. Become a diehard. We love you, each and every one of you. Thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, noon. Herb, you're back here tomorrow, right?
I'll be here.
We'll break it all down again tomorrow for you after we watch the tape. Talk to you tomorrow.
Y'all silly like the mayor.